Live from Miami, Florida. It's Friday night.
Damn, that was great. Yo, Father, what's up?
What it is. What is happening, people?
I hope our audience stuck around. I'm a little bit late. It looks like we do have some folks here. Hey, Cerulean Blue. Nice to see you. Enterprise Computer needed a minor upgrade. This will be one of our Star Trek debates. I love it. Yes, you guys are already in the spirit of the discussion.
Thank you, everyone who was checking out the Text Trek stream earlier tonight as well. I'm happy to see all of you that are rejoining us here for Starfleet Boy After Dark.
I already told you this offline, but that was a fire discussion. That was like awesome, or as the kids say, you guys crushed it. Like I really like. I feel like it was really good.
Well, I just want to. That's very kind of you. What did you like most? So I know to keep doing that.
Well, I think you guys just like went really deep into the analysis portion of it. Like there was a lot of stuff that I hadn't thought about. You know.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I know. You guys usually do that, but
we do the patented Text Trek deep dive analysis from deep in the heart of Texas.
And of course you guys are always funny, but I laughed a lot in this episode. You guys made some pretty funny jokes tonight, so that was really good.
Let me just ask a question out there, because I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but does anyone else provide that thorough of analysis this quickly after new episodes come out? I mean, like the episodes drop on Thursday. We do the live show Friday night with visuals. A lot of people don't even like. I know of one other channel that gets screenshots and does a show on Friday, but beyond that, and then we get the audio podcast out by Monday morning if you're commuting to work Monday morning. So I don't know. I'm pretty proud of us. I don't know if anyone else is going that deep that quickly, which sounds very perverted, but that's how we roll.
Deep and quick.
Yep.
On Text Trek.
We'll do you deep.
I think you just found your casual and informal. Deep and quick. Like there you go. Like it's a pretty catchy.
I mean, I hope people like it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, y'all are great. I love being the engineer on the show. I got to shine a little when you. I know it doesn't show up on the audio, so I got to shine a little bit when you went off screen. I came on and I was like, "We're giving it all she's got," like something like that. I forget.
Yeah, having some technical issues that happens when you do things live. But it was a great asset to me to have you there as the chief engineer, because that makes my life a little bit easier, especially on those long 2-episode streams where we have to talk about 2 episodes. But yeah, I enjoy doing it. And now we just get 1 episode a week. We can go a little bit more thorough on Picard. I think next week we're going to finally take a look at that opening title sequence where we can talk about the visuals we're presented with there and give our thoughts on those. Because I don't know. Has anyone else like even talked about the new opening titles and kind of like gone in through it like frame by frame and tried to parse what all the different images mean? So yeah, we're going to be doing that.
That's gonna be.
We would have done that on week 1, but we've had all this discovery to talk about too. So, and then we're really
we got a little treat tonight.
Strange New World soon. So
I think it was a treat to see the 10 Forward experience in LA.
Yeah,
and I'm really hoping they have some kind of version of that at Star Trek Chicago planned. I hope so. I think they usually do like a bar, right, at the conventions of at least the
they would have a happy hour thing at the convention center during Star Trek Las Vegas, but I don't know if Reed Pop does anything like that. So I've never been to a Reed Pop convention at all, so I really have no idea what to expect for Mission Chicago, other than they finally announced a bunch of actors, which that was my big concern. Because it was like from October until February. They didn't say jack fucking shit about Mission Chicago. Like, they didn't announce anything.
Our friend Dr. Patrick Patterson asked John Van Sitters if it was going to, what's the deal? We haven't heard anything. And he said, don't worry. And then I stopped worrying after that because I kind of trust him. He's pretty good.
No, he's the man to ask. he's literally in charge of that type of stuff. But also, and Larry Nemechek is kind of like my source, and he was saying like, oh yeah, like they have people booked, they just haven't announced it, which is really 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 weird. Reed
Different,
Pop does
yeah.
things very differently than other like they don't do things like Creation, they don't do things like Wizard World, they don't. I don't know who else does convention. Slanted Fedora used to be around back in the old
Ooh,
days. They
what's
don't do things
that?
like Slanted
Sounds
Fedora.
cool.
Like they,
Like an action
um,
adventure
yeah.
thing
I
to
don't
it. Yeah.
know how Reed Pop justifies like not announcing guests until right up at the very beginning of the event. You normally want to promote that as soon as possible, but anyways, I am still very much looking forward to the con for no other reason than just to hang out with you and Sean and Braxton and
I
all the
know.
other Trekkies that are going to be there. You get your badge? Is it mailed out?
Kirk is first, Cerulean Blue. We're gonna talk it. What's that?
They mailed out the badge or the ticket or whatever
I
for
haven't
Mission
got that yet.
Chicago. Yeah, check your email. It might be in your spam, but you should have a tracking for it.
Oh. Oh, I was about to do it right now. I'll be patient. I'll wait till later. Everyone's waiting for our Kirk debate first.
Oh.
Like,
Do you
so
have any
the
pictures? Do
title
you have
of
any pictures of the Kirk stuff?
yeah, we're gonna pull them up in a second. But the title of tonight's episode, Father, just so you know, is "What's Kirk Got to Do with It?" Because a lot of Strange New World anticipators, fans out there are asking, "What's Kirk got to do with it?
I haven't heard
What's
anyone ask
Kirk
that.
but a secondary character?"
Nice.
No, our friend Robbie is so concerned about Captain Kirk. Like, he is so averse to the idea of Kirk being in it. And I know you are too. It
No,
wouldn't have been your preference.
my preference
It
was always
wasn't
that
your
they held
preference.
off on
Yeah,
Kirk,
yeah, yeah.
primarily because I thought that I feared that they would jump into it pretty early, which it looks like they're going to do.
Yeah. I always kind of wanted Kirk to be in it, but in clever ways. Like, I hope he's just a sprinkling here and there.
It's going to be really tricky because they do pay attention to Star Trek canon, and they will bend it and do like weird type of twists to try to like make things work. But that's one of the. It's going to be awkward. Like either A, you can never have Kirk and Pike meet each other, or B, you have them meet each other, but then you have to explain why Kirk tells Commodore Mendez, "We met when he was promoted to fleet captain."
Right.
Now, you can do either one of those things, but it just seems like it's going to make your story kind of clunky if you have to spend too much time like explaining these type of things. These are problems you run into with prequels, but yeah, it's something that they can pull off. I think it's more interesting to explore Uhura or Chapel or Mbenga.
Yeah, I was excited about that. Yeah.
Because those are all characters that were, even Uhura, as iconic as she is, was, in fact, you could even say underused. I think that's very fair to say she's been underused, during the Nichelle Nichols years. They try to
Father's been having trouble all night with his internet. So while we wait for him to come back, let's take a look at this, guys. And this is I think Stefan from the Vampire Diaries. I didn't watch the Vampire Diaries. Father's back. Awesome. Hold on a second. Father is back. Father is back. All right. Welcome back,
I'm so
Father.
sorry. I don't know why StreamYards keeps kicking me out. If it does that again, I'll restart my computer and see if that helps.
If that helps, yeah, we'll wait for you. But what were you saying? Finish your thought about Uhura and stuff.
No, I'm just saying, like, we've gotten a lot of Kirk. It might be cool to, at least for the first 2 seasons, focus on some of those other TOS characters. But, it is what it is. We'll get to it when we get to it next year in 2023. Which also, like, they want to get, like, the new Kelvin movie. If that's going to happen, they want that out in 2023. Yeah. So they're going to have the Paul Wesley Kirk debut the same year that the Chris Pine Kirk is supposed to come out.
Oh my god, that's interesting. We can. Someone said it was Dayton Ward who said, "Internet, do your thing or don't fail us." I feel like we should get like the three Kirks pointing at each other, like the Spider-Man meme,
Yeah.
with the actors. That might be fun. Joel says it's sabotage, because do you think it sabotages season one at all, knowing that Kirk is going to be popping in season two?
I mean, sabotage implies like intention, like
No,
someone's
I
doing
know
that
it's not. Yeah,
like
it's
on
true.
purpose. No, the
Sabotage.
reason why they did this announcement now, they
It's
didn't
because
want
of
to
the
announce
leak.
this before season one. The reason why they did is because of the leak, the
Right.
location shooting images leaked, and maybe they should have not said anything. There is like some speculation going on. Like I actually thought when I saw a picture, who is Paul Wesley? I started looking him up. I was like, man, he looks Kirkish to me. I could see him as Kirk. But some people were saying like, oh, it's a young Matt Decker before he's Commodore. Oh, it's what was another one I saw.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation. I like that Matt Decker one. That was cool.
But yeah, actually, a lot of people seem to think this is like a decade before the original series. It's not.
Mm-mm.
Um,
What's it,
Discovery
5 years,
season
right?
one is a decade before season one of the original series, but I think season two of Strange New World is going to take place in the year 2061, which is only 4 years before The Cage. So, the fact that like Kirk is a captain during that time period actually makes a lot of sense. In fact, a lot of the novels have had him in command of ships during that time. The Sacagawea or the autobiography had like some different ship. But what you have here, he does seem to be in the captain's chair on the Enterprise.
No, I petition that it's not the Enterprise. Now
Well,
you can do toning, but like you'll notice the banisters or whatever the guards, the
the
detailing,
coloring is off.
it's a brownish color instead of a reddish color. So I don't think this is
But
Enterprise.
you do photography. You probably have a keener eye for this than me, but
Well, I'd have to
it
compare it to a shot of Anson Mount
this looks
on the
very
Enterprise bridge.
photoshopped.
Well,
Like
what's going? I
the
mean,
colors.
first of all, yeah, it's a gorgeous image. Like it's very high quality. I mean, this one that I have here, it's like super
It's a good promo picture. It's a
super
good
high
promo picture.
res. So you can like really zoom in, and they're using like really nice lighting and everything on this image. But it's definitely probably I would say that like yeah, it was into either I would say. How far are they into shooting season two, Father? Do you know?
They're not too. Still on the first half of the season.
I think it is color manipulation rather than a
Yeah.
set. I think it's the Enterprise set, but they've manipulated the colors of the
They
background
might be on like the second episode because when did they start? They just started like a few weeks
like a
ago.
few weeks ago. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
I doubt they've made it past episode one or two.
But also another interesting thing about this promo image is he's got a different badge. Cerulean Blue was
Right.
pointing out. Speaking of badges, what's the deal with New Kirk's badge?
But you agree with me? This image looks photoshopped. Like the lighting on his face
Oh
doesn't
yeah, I
look
mean,
real
I'll say the word I like to use as a photographer is this image is highly processed.
edited, processed. Okay.
Yeah, it's processed.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I don't know your I don't know
yeah,
photography lingo.
because photoshopping
But
implies like like shenanigans, like things that are not there, like adding things that are not
right,
there,
like making
and
him have
stuff
like a
like
third arm, like he's
arm
Eric's
or
or
yeah,
something
or
like
just like
that.
cleaning it up, like like making his hair perfect. I'm
But
sure some of that
processed.
when but processed is what refers to like toning and color correction and like just the overall like look of the image. And so
So
yeah,
we're in
it is processed.
agreement. We're in agreement. This image was just created for marketing purposes. It
Correct.
is. This
Correct.
is in no way. This is 100% for sure not a
A
still
still.
frame from any
Yeah.
episode.
100% agree. Yes, it doesn't have the look of a still. It definitely
Yeah,
has the look of
the
an
very
intentional
manufactured.
manufactured. Yeah, like meant to take this picture. The lighting might not even look like that on the final
Yeah.
thing either.
So I don't know if you have any pictures of the actual like leaks from the location.
Yep, let me pull those up. But before we go to that, so the big debate out there is, I think audience correct us if we're wrong. It's like bringing in Kirk too early. Is it too early or is it not too early? So that's the big question. So chime in with your thoughts on that. Fathery, before we go to that, can you catch us up with, while I look for the other picture, will you catch us up with what's known about Kirk in this like period that you predict the show will take place? Like, what do we actually know about him, what he's doing, and all that
Well,
stuff?
we know that he was on board the Republic as an ensign, and then the Farragut as a lieutenant, and then he also instructed at the academy for a little bit as a lieutenant. During this time period, he might be a captain. He wouldn't be on the Enterprise yet, but he might be in command of a different ship, or he might be a first officer on a ship. We don't know exactly what he's doing in the early 2260s, according to canon. But he's probably buddies with Gary Mitchell around this time. So I would love to see his BFF Gary Mitchell show up with him and get to see like Gary Mitchell not be like an evil asshole.
The actor's name is Paul Wesley, by the way, and like I said earlier, he was on the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, and believe me, you are going to hear so many "Shut Up, Wesley" jokes with this actor. You're going to be so bored of that meme. Now, this is a picture from the actual shooting that they were doing on location in Toronto, and there's a few pictures that have come out, but if you look at his badge here, it is a different badge.
Yeah, so this is actually a leaked photo from, or like rather a photo taken by a bystander or whatever. Which it's crazy to me that like I'm surprised that this could I'm surprised. I don't know how this happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean? What like, don't you know how it happens?
Like, I feel like if you're filming on location, you should, I don't know. I feel like you can get permits to turn, or film like at like odd hour. Just I don't know. It's like
it almost feels like a lot. This
really. I guess it does. Geek and Review had all those like images. He went and saw Batman scenes in Glasgow or whatever it was.
It's harder to do it when it's like something that's kind of high profile. Like if there's someone on the street wearing a Batman suit and you're like, oh my god, I know exactly what they're shooting over here. I don't think it's a lot of attention. Same thing if you're in a Starfleet uniform or something like that.
Yeah, you can't, like, there's no way that this is anything else.
If you remember with Picard, there were location shooting for the first episode of Picard that was in Anaheim, the Anaheim Convention Center that they used for Starfleet HQ, right? That was the first look we got at like any of the Star Trek uniforms or anything. And then even for season 2, when they were shooting some of the exterior stuff of Picard in the fascist universe, some of that stuff leaked. And then remember Michelle Hurd and Jerry Ryan like on a bus in downtown LA?
Yeah,
and pictures of that leaking. Too. So don't beat up on Strange New Worlds when it's not doing anything that others. I'm trying to find. Someone made a graphic of the badge that I thought I shaved.
I think
picture.
That's Wonder. I think that's Wonder Crisp. I'm gonna try to find it. But before we do that, let me go to the chats here. So let's see. CB says Cerulean Blue CB. It's like third, like a new old communicator badge between the TNG style tap to talk communicator and the TOS flap equals style. Oh, you mean the badge? Like you're talking about this thing? Hold on.
Yeah, it's thick. It's weird that these badges are so big, but they don't do anything.
Right.
Like I would be fine if they just went back to like having a patch on the shirt.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Actually, you're 100% right. Because you could do it today, like where it even looks like more hi-fi or
you can give it like a little bit more dimension.
Yeah, it's true.
Stuff would just be sewn on.
The Picard maneuver isn't invented yet, so Kirk's shirt is messy.
He doesn't know how to pull the wrinkles out.
Wrinkles out, that's true. PJ says milking the nostalgia teat. That's true, but it's gonna be a new spin on Kirk. By the way, he's got some interesting expressions that do remind me a little bit of William.
That's
Shatner.
A very Shatner face he's making right there.
Yeah, it's true.
That is Shatner AF. This guy reminds me more of Shatner than Chris Pine, to be honest. I'm not like hating on Chris Pine's Kirk, but I can see this is more aligned with the prime timeline Kirk.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other exciting thing about Kirk. This is prime timeline Kirk, so there's a lot of expectations.
His hair is closer to the right color too. Yeah. Shatner doesn't have like that blonde Chris Pine hair. It's dark. He's like a dirty blonde. He's closer to this brown hair you see here.
PJ also points out he's 39. It might be a time
Yeah,
travel
could be.
story to
But he looks young enough.
2269 or something.
I could buy him. Oh, this guy he's like 4 years younger than original series Kirk. I can buy that. But yeah, it could very well be a time hop thing. Star Trek does love time travel. It's interesting that all of the official announcement stuff that's come out, they only call him James Kirk. No one says Captain Kirk. But
right, I noticed that too.
His uniform, though, he does have the two big stripes, the one little stripe that means captain with this ranking system.
What episode of TOS was it again where he talks about the experience aboard the ship that his whole crew got killed? And
You're talking about Obsession?
Obsession, yeah. Like, when does that take place?
That was in 57. That would have been like Disco season 1.
Oh wow! So while Disco season 1 was going on, Kirk was going through that shit.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool to kind of like map.
I think I might be off on the year, but I think that was 2257
around that time. Okay, so it wouldn't be something. It would be something in his past if he's appearing in the Strange New Worlds time period.
But yeah, Strange New Worlds, of course, is going to be after that. I think season 2 is in 61. I think season 1 is in 60. Season 2 will be in 61. On like that. I think season 5 will be in 64, and that'll be the last year. And then Kirk can take command in 65, because we know for a fact that Captain Kirk takes over the Enterprise in 65.
Cerulean Blue points out, and this is cool. I haven't seen where. Let me know if you know what video he says this in, because. Do you know about this, Father? So Sean Ferrick made a good mention. There's a book that Gene Roddenberry wrote that mentioned Kirk had a command before Enterprise.
Yeah, I think it's talking about I think that's the Sacagawea.
That's what you mentioned. Oh, you told us about that. Yeah, that's right. The Sacagawea. Now that would be good, right? Like would you dig that? Like that would be a cool thing, I think.
My instinct, if I was gonna have Kirk be a captain of something in 2261, then yes, I would put him on the Sacagawea. However, I think the James Kirk autobiography that came out a few years ago, I think in that it has a different ship named. And sometimes they pull stuff from the novels, so they might pull it from like the newer novels.
So from the Una McCormick novel is what you're talking about.
I think she wrote that.
I think she does. She's been doing all these.
She did the Nimoy, the Spock one.
Spock one, yeah.
I don't know who did the Picard, or there was a Janeway one too, isn't there?
I think there is. That's correct.
Did Kate Mulgrew do the book on tape but no one says book on tape anymore. The audio book of that one.
Oh, I don't know if she did. I'm totally downloading it. That's amazing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be on my phone, but I'm gonna look some of that stuff up.
That's good. We like to be accurate. By the way, I have a correction on our Star Trek Discovery discussion. One of our panelists said that Mary Wiseman was pregnant during the filming of Star Trek Discovery, and was speculating that might be the reason she was kind of
David
sidelined.
Goodman. David Goodman wrote it.
Sidelined for a bit. That is incorrect information. That is a rumor. So there's nothing that we know about that. But the rumor that might be the closest to the truth is she was doing a play. So she may have been prepping for this play and getting ready for this play that she was going to be doing. So, which is playing right now, I think, or which is going on right now. Also, I am a proud supporter of the Kickstarter for her husband, Noah Averbach Katz's movie Type 1, which has been fully funded on Kickstarter. Really epic. In a short matter of days, it was fully funded and exceeded their funding. So Anthony Rapp's going to be involved with that. I think he's
directing it.
Directing it, yeah, exactly. So if you guys are interested, follow those guys and check that out. But I apologize. We do get information wrong sometimes. It's not anyone's fault. Just there's a lot of misinformation out there, and sometimes it's hard to know what's real and what's not, So, but we do like to correct things when we find out that they're wrong.
So, well, I just figured out what I was going to say, and then I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh shit! I totally messed you up. While you figured that out, look at how cool. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell you before I forgot again. What you mentioned about Anthony Rapp directing that short film, or is it a feature? I don't know what they're doing
I
there.
think they're gonna do a feature. Like
Okay.
I don't know how long, but maybe it'll be short film slash feature. You know, that around that time.
So, Anthony Rapp had been shadowing directors on Discovery,
Yeah.
and he hopes to direct some Discovery episodes in season 5. I think that is super cool because Star Trek has a tradition of letting its actors direct, going all the way back to 1986 with Leonard Nimoy doing Star Trek Through the Search for Spock. Jonathan Frakes has become a very prolific television director. LeVar Burton has done a lot of TV directing. Uh, Roxanne Dawson, Robert Duncan McNeil. So I think that is really cool to continue that tradition and have Anthony Rapp be the next Star Trek actor turned Star Trek
Yeah.
director. They
I
did that
love
with
that.
Harry Mudd, Wilson, Rainn Wilson, right?
Yeah,
The Office dude.
it's true. Real quick shout out to Jeremiah was a Squirtle.
What's
Jeremiah's
up,
just coming in and
Jeremiah?
out. Just wanted to check in before bed. Hope you have a good night, Jeremiah. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're well. Good to see you in the chats. Father, look at how cool these boots and like the piping or the
Oh,
striping or
those boots are
whatever.
weird.
Yeah, they're disco boots actually. They're like
Yeah, they're
kind of
really like
similar.
groovy boots.
Yeah, they're groovy boots. I like
They
them.
don't. The breeches don't like
They don't
flare
do the
out at
thing.
the
Yeah, they don't
bottom.
flare. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're not like boot cut. They're like skinny jeans. They're like tight.
Maybe they'll introduce that as the seasons go on, like
Yeah.
because little upgrades that kind of
Yeah, you
match
slowly inch it closer and closer. I
closer.
mean,
Yeah,
they're already doing that. They're already like a little closer original
yeah. This
series, and they
is
looked in Discovery. So
seriously, this is
just
the
keep doing it. Keep inching it.
if Discovery had done this. I mean, some people love the asymmetrical stuff, but to me, this is like this is an update. This is like what I view as an update.
I
You know what I
actually
mean? Like,
prefer the season 2
yeah,
Enterprise
I know you love, and it
uniforms,
looks
but
good on you, by the way. but yeah, this is my. I'm trying to get
that
this
looks good,
uniform. Yeah, it
especially
looks
like
good.
far away where you don't see like the little tiny command insignias. I don't
Yeah,
like those.
yeah. But we also proved by watching TOS that they did put insignias on things, even in TOS when Charlie X when Kirk is sparring with him.
Yeah,
There's insignias. It wasn't like this crazy, but it wasn't.
yeah, but they're
But
not like tiny deltas. They're tiny command
command
insignias, like
insignias,
that
which is
little
interesting.
star
Yeah.
thing,
Hmm.
the star with like the big point on the top.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, so he's 100% for sure captain of a different ship. I think if we're gonna be serious about this, he has captain braids on his sleeves and he has a different badge. That means he's captain of another ship.
Did you find out? I'm sorry if I didn't hear you say it, but did you find out what the ship Una McCormick or the other ship was called?
Um, yeah, the one from the biography.
Yeah, because I'm curious, because it'll be interesting which choice they go with on that.
That might be the um.
Uh, while you do that, I'm just gonna go back to this picture of Paul
I'm just looking
Wesley
at the
here.
Memory Alpha article for the autobiography of Kirk. I don't read a ton of the Star Trek novels. I don't read very many at all, actually, but maybe I should read this one just to find out the name of the ship. Am I going to have to go buy the ebook right now to look this up?
I would buy the audiobooks because I feel like they would be fun to do. Here's an interesting. I was trying to find a picture of a similar picture or angle on the Enterprise so that we can compare the two. I don't think this does a good job at it because it's not exactly the same kind of lens. This looks like a clip from the show, it's also shot from a different angle, but you can clearly see the Enterprise has like more of a red piping, but it's the same set. It's basically the same
Yeah, I might
set.
be redressed.
Yeah, it's the same exact set. Like you can see the long panel behind him and and like the round panel and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. But Let me see. There's another. I just have to show this image because I love it. Wait, let me go see if I can find this image. Let's see. Where is that image? Oh no, that's not the one I want. All right, so I couldn't get that image to load for some reason. Sorry, audience, but it was an image of Captain Pike looking out the porthole or the one of the windows on the Enterprise. It was pretty cool. Let's see here. Kate did the audio, by the way, on her thing, so I'm totally downloading that. That's cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to listen to Captain Janeway read the autobiography of Captain Janeway.
This is interesting. Cerulean Blue says Captain Kirk commanded a destroyer-class vessel before Enterprise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Sacagawea. It was like one of those little like one nacelle ships.
Oh, I've seen that. That's cool. That would be neat to see that realized in like the new style. That would be really cool. CB also says, I wish I knew how to upload a picture. I have a color-corrected version of this photo beside Kirk, correcting the color to show that the brown railing in the back is actually red. Ooh. Cerulean Blue, you can actually just, if you want to DM me on Twitter, I will look out for your DM and see if I can share that picture. It would be pretty awesome. Let me know. Let me know when you send it so I can go into my.
I'm looking at the memory beta page of the.
Yeah, you're on the hunt for the ship. If anyone in the audience knows the name of the ship, that would be cool. So going back to Strange New Worlds, the Kirk debate. A lot of people are really, Star Trek comes with like a huge like kind of stickler for canon community, and based on what I'm hearing from you, Fathery, like there's not like, but based on what I'm hearing from you, there's like there's a lot of wiggle room here. Like there's a lot of ways this could fit in, and
the only concern is that, well, I've seen some irrational concerns out there, but the only legitimate concern with that is like how are they going to avoid him meeting Pike before Pike? Is Pike going to be promoted to fleet captain? Like, we don't even know what the fuck fleet captain means. No one, right. Fleet captain is not like a rank anyone else ever had but Pike.
Is that right? That's funny because when I was like,
they just made that up for the menagerie. They never say the words fleet captain in any other episode of Star Trek ever. It's not like a real Navy thing. It's nothing. It's they should have just had him be another Commodore, like. Maybe they didn't want to have two Commodores, so they should have made Mendez an admiral, and then have Pike.
I mean, it could be that Pike
they were still figuring all this out.
Pike could be. It could be interesting if Pike is the introduction of the fleet captain, like model. Like he creates that for himself. Maybe there's a reason. I just don't want to go into like a war thing. By the way, that was the other thing I liked on the Text Trek discussion is the idea that Brian explaining the uniform and badge variants being linked with fleets. Like we have the first fleet, the second fleet, the third fleet, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it might be an interesting thing. Like, different fleets have different like styles, if you will, to indicate that they are like the 10th fleet or whatever, what have you, you know?
Yeah. So sometimes everyone has the same badge, everyone has the Delta, and sometimes they have different badges, and it's been for different reasons over the years, or different incidents of why or who. But yeah, that Starbase 11, when we see Commodore Mendez, he has a different badge, but then we see like his assistant or whatever, his staffer, that woman in like the little like reception desk next that adjacent room, and she has the Delta on her uniform, and she's clearly assigned to him at Starbase 11. So I kind of like the idea of like bringing that back though. Like some ships don't have the Delta, they have something else.
This is cool. Here's the image Cerulean Blue was talking about, where it's color corrected, and look at it. Look at that, spot on. It's the same image,
and it's color corrected.
it's color corrected to match
Yeah.
the TOS style, and you can see that like it has been quote unquote photoshopped or processed, because they probably shot it on the Enterprise set as you had said, but what they did is they had shenanigans in the processing and they changed the color tones and stuff like that. But yeah, it makes sense now, and just so you can kind of see it.
Yeah, I don't know much about this guy, but I see a lot of people seem to like him. He seems to be like a pretty popular actor from the
Yeah, that's
Vampire
what I heard
Diaries.
too.
But he looks the part.
He does look the part.
Visually, they did some great casting. You know, I can't comment on anything else. I looked up a YouTube video of him just to see what his voice sounded like when he talked, and I don't know, it sounded pretty normal. But I can picture him as Kirk pretty easily.
My sister's a huge fan of this performer, and she was obsessed with the Vampire Diaries. And I remember, I didn't watch them, but I heard them in the background because she watched them when they were airing, and I would hear her screaming or yelling or reacting to something, and I would run in because I was curious and I wanted to see like what the hell was going on. And it was it a CW show, right? The Vampire Diaries, yeah. So it has that typical like melodrama to the extreme.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Style. It's like
and they try to sex it up as much as they can get away with.
Yeah, exactly. So when I told her she was cast as a Captain Kirk before the original series, she didn't like it.
Yeah, she didn't like that. But most Trekkies I've talked to that like Vampire Diaries, they're excited about this.
Okay,
they like the
cool.
dude.
That's good, because I was a little shocked.
That was the only negative reaction that I heard from people that actually watched the show. No, I've heard a lot of people that are like, "Oh my god, I hate that CW trash. Can't believe they would hire one of those actors." Which, to be fair, like a lot of those shows are trash, but there's some good actors that show up on there. There's some bad actors, but there's some good. Michael Rosenbaum is Lex Luthor on Smallville. Like. Get out of it. If you think he's a bad actor, then like I don't want to hear any of your opinions on any actors.
Wow.
You don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so here's a color matched or color corrected version to match the TOS, and this is uncanny. I especially liked how close the uniform matches in the color. I kind of wish they just did these colors, but we'll see how the show looks.
That's what it looked like on the the actual
the trailer,
the location that leaked. You're
right.
So,
you're right.
That's a more accurate representation than that. That is not accurate. I don't think that's what it looks like.
But I mean, this does look like a dimly lit set. But you're right. CB's totally right that they.
Yeah, because this was done by a marketing person in a hurry when they're like, we need to get a story. We need like some headshot of this dude as Kirk. What do we got? What can we do? What can we pull off? For all we know, he never even wears that badge in the actual show.
Right.
I mean, maybe he does, but we'll just have to wait and find out next year.
I saw that in the leak photos, he's with the Khan character.
Leanne Noonien. Or Leon Nguyen
I called her
Singh.
the Khan character. Yeah, wrong name for it. But yeah, Leanne. Yeah. So yeah, she's a Nguyen Singh. Which
people are really mad about her existing. Which I guess I like the idea of having like we don't even know, but how they're gonna go with this. But the idea of like a genetically enhanced augment being a crew member. She's like a descendant of Khan or like a relative of him. Maybe it's small universe syndrome to make her related to Khan, but I don't like. Some people complain about that, like that this breaks canon. I'm like, how?
Yeah, it really doesn't. Yeah, it's true.
It's fine if there's a Noonien Singh in Starfleet. That doesn't impact anything.
Well,
that changes absolutely nothing that's in Space Seed.
Right.
I guess the only thing that could change is Spock could be like, "Oh, I used to work with someone who's related to her or related to him," but it doesn't contradict anything.
Well, also there might be, we haven't seen the show yet, so there's a lot of clever ways they can like explain why Spock doesn't mention it, or even,
I don't think it needs to be explained.
Yeah.
I thought that was so gratuitous in Discovery season 2, and like they're like, we're all going to take an oath to never talk about Michael Burnham. I was like, that was so unnecessary.
Yeah, like it's
like
kinda...
how many times does Kirk mention George Kirk after Operation Annihilate?
Never.
Yeah, I can tell you the exact number: 0.
0 times. It's true.
So why does there need to be an episode of like Kirk taking like a vow, an oath to like never talk about his brother again? Get out of here. That doesn't make no sense.
Get out of here.
There's so many legitimate things to criticize in some of these shows. Like, you don't need to make up extra stuff like that.
It is interesting though. I do think for Disco, it was a good reason to explain away why the spore drive technology was classified and stuff like that. But I do think it's surprising that I do find it like it doesn't hold a lot of weight because by the things that are classified can be declassified, like just like they declassified these UFO videos.
Oh, what are you talking about with the spore drive?
Yeah, like I feel like by the 32nd century
they kept that classified. Yeah, like Vance didn't know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they should have
declassified it, right? Like I feel like they should have had access to the records. Now I guess
it might have been lost.
Yeah, you could say that. 900 years a lot could happen. It's true.
That's the one I still need. I need that Section 31 show. I know a lot of people are like, we don't even want, and I've even been like that. I'm like, I'm not really interested in a Section 31, but now I'm like, I need it because I need to know how we go from the Discovery Section 31 to the Deep Space Nine Section 31.
Yeah.
Supposedly the show is going to answer that question.
Oh, interesting. We have poor George. Cerulean Blue says Khan had assumed control of more than 40 of Earth's nations. He had to have had a plethora of children.
Dude had a harem.
No big deal. Millions were. He could have. It's true. Khan was an absolute ruler of more than 1/4 of Earth's population. He had kids. Get over it, trolls. Yeah. Get over it, trolls. It is interesting that I like that idea that like the eugenics war was a secret war. It fits nicely into what we've seen. Since
that's
Star Trek.
That's what I go by.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
War of the '90s, like the Greg Cox novel.
Yeah, exactly. Which I haven't read, but I've heard a lot about. So it's pretty cool.
That novel, it has like everyone we know about in Star Trek who existed in the 20th century is like in that novel. Dr. Gillian Taylor is in it.
Oh, really?
The Ferengi ship that crashed at Roswell is mentioned. That they build the Botany Bay based on that technology. Gary Seven is like actually trying to like raise Khan to like not be an evil asshole when he's like this genetically enhanced little kid. What else is in there? But yeah, like there's like a whole bunch of like 20th century stuff that shows up in there.
That's super rad. All right, so let's settle this Kirk debate once and for all. Is Kirk is it too soon to get Kirk in season 2? I say no.
I say yes, but it's not a huge deal.
We didn't settle the debate, Father, but it's not a huge deal. I'll take that as a settlement. That's a good settlement. What do you say, audience? Too soon or not too soon? Do we have a consensus yet?
But the thing that really bothered me is that there were some people were freaking out thinking that this meant Anson Mount was leaving the show.
Oh, yes.
Which that's totally ridiculous. That's insane. I'm trying not to be mean. I'm trying not to be mean because I don't want to like alienate anyone.
Yeah. To me, the thought hadn't occurred. I just thought I never thought that this would be the Kirk show. I think that like there was so much goodwill put into like Strange New Worlds, like the fans really asked for it. Like it just felt like a weird move if that were the case. I don't think that's the case at all. It is misleading.
It took them a while. It took them a couple of years before they. It was there. There were 2 years between the end of Discovery season 2 because that was back in 2018, and then they didn't officially announce Strange New Worlds until 2020. Remember this? There's 2 years there. Where during that time there's a lot of inside talk on money, contracts, negotiating. Anson Mount I think got a pretty sweet deal with that, but I promise you like he's locked in a 5-year contract.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't promise that, but
Yeah, but you're very
I would be
confident
shocked if that's not the
if that's
case.
not the case. Yeah.
And they're largely building the show around him. They're basing the show on him. Now it is true. Sometimes shows they hate to do it. It's a last resort. But worst case scenario. Sometimes you do have to replace your lead. They lost their lead on Batwoman. That happened.
I didn't know that.
It happened on Star Trek Voyager. We were gonna have a totally different actress play. Was that Canadian lady? What's her name? Was gonna be Janeway, and they started shooting with her
Oh
before she
yeah,
quit.
Genevieve Bujold.
Yeah. Which if that happened today on one of the new Star Trek shows today, it's a blessing the internet wasn't as big in 94 as it is now, because that would have just been the fucking hell. I don't even. That would have been probably like the biggest scandal in like Star Trek ever up until that point. But yeah, the Anson Mount's not going anywhere. I don't think Rebecca Romaine's going anywhere either. So I don't think Kirk's gonna be like the number one. I think these writers are going to try to stick to the. They don't meet until he gets promoted to fleet captain. If they meet before that, they're gonna have to come up with some weird contrivance to explain why. But I'm sure they will. It might be dumb, but they'll give us something at least. And if you're still unconvinced, the stories that they gave the press to put out, with Hollywood Reporter and Variety and whatever outlets reiterate Anson Mount will remain in the show. He is not leaving.
Yeah.
So what really bugged me is that so many people didn't seem to get that. So I tweeted a screenshot of it. And maybe this is like a small microcosm. Maybe it's not as many people as I thought. But I got like comments from some people who are like, oh my God, he's a regular character, not like the lead. And it's like leads are regular characters.
Are regular characters,
like,
yeah.
Like Patrick Stewart is one of the regulars on Picard. Sonequa Martin Green is one of the regulars on Discovery. Like that's what regulars are the main cast. Regulars are the people that have like their name in the credits during the opening title sequence. That's what in the industry, that's what in casting, you have like your regular actors, your recurring actors, you have guest stars. Those are all different ways of crediting people and how they're paid and how they're signed in contracts. Yeah, the lead actor is just whichever one has negotiated that they're number one on the call sheet, and they get their name as top billing or the first name in the opening title. So calm down. He's not like demoted from lead actor to a smaller. That doesn't even make any sense either, because like people are like, Anson Mount's gonna leave the show, but he's still gonna be a fucking regular character who's in every episode. Like what? That doesn't make any sense at all. And then people were saying like, yeah, he just had a baby, so he probably wants to quit. You know how many people I know who have babies and they still go to work? Like that's a fairly normal thing to do, is to keep your job after you had a kid. But anyways, I don't mean to
no, it's good to get a
little
injection of rationality in here.
That's
what we're doing. We're settling this debate.
It's one of the problems. So hell with the internet giving everyone, and things like Twitter giving everyone like an immediate outlet to express an opinion on everything instantly. It's like, just because you can have an opinion on anything, it like doesn't mean yeah, sometimes it's best to like if you don't know what you're talking about, to like not say anything. You don't have to comment on everything, so if you don't know what a regular actor is, maybe like not like retweet like, oh my God, it looks like Anson Mount's not going to be the star of the show anymore, like.
That being said, I feel like Paramount CBS just loves all the attention. They're like they're like eating it up. They're like, oh my God, people are talking about Star Trek.
Yeah, no, it's actually very beneficial for like any of this stuff to be trending, even if it's negative, even if it's like a controversy. There is like, so just like the Klingons, the ugly Klingons on Discovery was like so much free publicity for Discovery. Like Discovery is now, and it's paid off. They found their audience. They're going into their 5th season.
Oh yeah, no, Discovery came home in this season finale, like in many ways. Yeah, that was the other thing I liked is It's funny how dense I can be sometimes, but I didn't catch it. But you're right. The symbolism of like the Federation headquarters being home, like that's epic. Like Earth, like I got that whole part about Earth coming back to the Federation, but I think it's gonna stick around. Starfleet and Federation HQ is gonna just float above
Yeah,
Earth.
that's
It's
totally
gonna
what
be
I
cool.
think.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Fathery, we have a couple of comments to go to here. Let's see here. Non-Trek nerd alert. In 5 minutes, SpaceX will begin a webcast of the Starlink launch. Oh man, we're gonna lose our audience, and it's the 12th flight for his. Oh, unless you could do open it a new window or something. It's the 12th flight for this reuse booster. I'll have it on in the background, splitting my attention. That's cool. Keep us posted. We'd like some updates on that. That's kind of neat. Take a Romulan ale fandom. Yeah, it's true. By the way, that's what I'm drinking tonight. Do you notice I have my Romulan ale? It's very blue. And to
Nice.
Cerulean Blue, I guess Blue Sparrow fell asleep. He's in Iceland, so I don't blame him.
He's
It's like
probably
morning.
cold.
Yeah, he's probably cold and it's in the morning. But thanks CB for Cerulean Blue. This is dedicated to you.
I wonder what time zone Iceland is. It's probably like one time zone sooner than the UK.
Let me see what this Siri thing says. What time is it in Reykjavik?
I'm gonna guess 4:30. Wait, no, they
4:31.
probably don't have
Very
daylight
good.
savings time yet. So
4:31. You're right.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. What time is it in Edinburgh?
The same time.
Oh yeah. Oh, I guess so. Blue's on the same time zone as the UK. That's interesting.
Do they start daylight savings time
Later.
this weekend?
Let's see. When does daylight savings time start in the UK? October 30th. Is daylight savings time in the UK? That doesn't make sense.
No, that's when it ends, not
That's
when it starts.
ends, yeah. All right. Well, whatever. Maybe next week.
But it sounds like we're gonna stop doing that here in the United States.
Yeah, that might be exciting. I mean, we're kind of excited.
I'm not
about
excited. I'm not excited because that means I'm gonna lose an hour of my weekend next year, and then I'll never get it back ever. The clock will never fall back, and I'm gonna be mad about that the rest of my life.
That that an hour. You're not willing to sacrifice an hour for like sanity.
No. And I like it when it gets dark early, but I know like I'm weird.
I do like that too. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm more of a night person.
Fathery has a different group of Trek fans in his circle. I never heard that he's leaving thing from anyone but him, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the case, and it's my fault for getting that worked up about it. But it's just like I put out a tweet to try to like calm these people down, and then they got even sillier.
I gotta see. I didn't see that. I don't think I saw that tweet, or I didn't see those replies. I gotta go look.
Yeah.
Fun will commence says Bujold's unreleased performance on Voyager was a disaster. It's true. I have to agree with that. Like it was.
I'm sure they're gonna talk about that in the upcoming documentary.
Voyager documentary.
Which Virtual TrekCon is going on currently this weekend. They're doing Virtual TrekCon 3. If you follow Trek Geeks or the Seventh Rule.
Yeah.
Really great channels. Really great outlets on YouTube. And they have been doing a lot of cool panels on these streams that you can check out. They did something for the Voyager documentary today. I haven't watched it yet, but I will soon. I saw there was a Voyager doc panel on the Star Trek cruise too that I got to check out.
Right on. Wait, okay, right on.
You're a fan of the DS9 documentary we got a couple years ago, right? What We Left Behind.
Yeah, totally.
So a similar team is doing the Voyager one,
I'm really
and then
excited.
I bet there's an Enterprise one after that.
Joel
said a Discovery one and a Picard one.
We will. We're gonna get them all. We haven't had a TNG documentary though, or a TOS one in that style with that team. Maybe they'll do them all. I first saw the Kirk image
Well,
on
well,
Reddit.
TNG had the William Shatner Chaos on the Bridge. That was
Yeah,
supposed
but
to
that's
be.
not like the same. Like these like What We Left Behind style documentaries are like lovingly produced. They still show
Well,
you
that's because
the.
Ira Stephen Bear took over and
That's true.
did a much more a massively more involved job than Shatner was doing.
Uh, Joel says I first saw the Kirk image on Reddit, but I didn't read the comments. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that was
Hmm.
Kirk. Are these Mount is leaving people the same ones saying Kurtzman was fired?
No,
Maybe.
they're like not people who are like that. But I don't want to throw anyone under the bus and give any names or anything. But a lot of them were like good people. I just think they.
We're taking names. It's like how I thought Mary Wiseman was pregnant because yeah, it's just like people, not me, but like someone on our panel thought, and I believed it. So, it's easy to get misinformed.
Yeah.
Um, how did I miss you were here? I'm so unobserved. Oh, this is a comment to someone in the chat. Sorry. And then Joel says, I've been to Iceland airport 4 times, never left it.
Huh?
Joel's been to the Iceland airport 4 times. I guess there's only one airport in
How can you
Iceland.
go to it 4 times if you've never left it? Like you can't. If you go to it one time, you can't go to it a second time
Like,
until you
no,
leave.
like meaning never left the airport, just stayed at the airport, fathery. Like when you stop over, you could like a layover. Some
Oh.
people leave like on a layover to go like have dinner or meet friends or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Yeah, he's yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get what you mean now.
CB's like, here's the end of daylight savings time, and then Canada already passed a law saying if the U.S. stops, so will they. Wow, look at that! It's like a
Well,
whole
monkey
movement.
see, monkey do.
We're gonna get ready for our next debate, which is carpets WTF. But before we do that, Starfleet Boy has to go blow his nose, and no, not in the cocaine way. I'm just getting stuffy. I think alcohol. I think gin makes me stuffy. I'm just starting to realize. I'll be right back. Father, do you mind making it a show for just a bit?
Sure. So we have some additional comments here. Joel says it was a layover. Oh yeah. I understand now. I was being dumb. That's my fault. Um, Cerulean Blue says I never left the Newark airport on my way to Greece. I have. I've had layovers in California, but I've never left the airports. I've never like really been in California other than like the airports. But I'm changing that next year. I'm gonna go to LA for a little bit in February. I'm doing the Star Trek cruise again next year, but I'm also going to visit Vasquez Rocks and maybe some other locations over there. And I have a lot of Star Trek friends that live in the LA area, so I'm hoping that I can um, hopefully get a chance to visit Larry Nemechek and visit Aaron Harvey, and that should be a lot of fun. The LA is not like a big like attraction for me, but there's some really cool Star Trek sites I want to see over there. So I'm glad that the cruise is going from there instead of Florida because it's always been Florida. The last five that they've done, all five of them were in Florida. The first few were out of Miami, actually, the city of Starfleet Boy. So the only time I ever went to Miami was when I went on the Star Trek cruise in 2018. Cerulean Blue says, take pics of Vasquez rocks for us with a Gorn if possible. I will definitely take pictures up there. I will for sure be doing that. That's gonna be fun. Just to walk around there. It's like it's you appreciate it so much while you're there, and then later you're like, I was so busy appreciating it, I didn't take enough pictures. I should have got more pictures. These pictures don't do it justice. It's always kind of like that, but yeah, that will be fun. Um, Joel says Trek and Bill and Ted. It's funny you mentioned that, Joel. I don't know if you've heard me say it on these streams before, but as I was when I was a kid when like the Bill and Ted movies came out, and that's like those movies so perfectly encapsulate that big part of my childhood and pop culture and my relationship to movies and music and stuff like that. Because Bill and Ted, those two movies, they both feel like they have one foot in the 80s and one foot in the 90s. They kind of straddle those two decades, which really like sums up my childhood. I identify as a X Genial. I got like I'm part Gen X, part millennial, so I'm like little 80s kid, little 90s kid, all rolled into one. But yeah, I loved the Bill and Ted movies when they came out, and I thought it was very neat that Bill and Ted watched Star Trek, and that actually made me think Star Trek is cooler. Um, and it helped encouraged me to get more and more into Star Trek, I think. So, my life might have gone down a very different path if I wasn't a fan of Bill and Ted and didn't see them liking Star Trek, and then I wouldn't. I might not be making this content on the internet, and I would never have met Starfleet Boy or any of you lovely people that are checking out our content. So, Cerulean Blue is asking, "What was your favorite part of the cruise?" That's a easy question to answer because my favorite part was the most amazing part. That is Kenneth Mitchell, the actor on Discovery who has ALS, who's unfortunately is confined to a wheelchair. He's lost pretty much all his mobility. He's lost all of his speech. He has to speak through a computer like Stephen Hawking. But he put on the House of Core rave on the third night, and I'm not like a big like electronic music rave person. I like real instruments, but anyways, but the rave was really cool because so many Star Trek actors came out and got on stage to party with Kenneth Mitchell, and I'm talking Nana visitors, Bob Picardo, Anthony Montgomery, Wilson Cruz, who just was dancing crazy. He's just fucking on fire. Sonequa Martin Green. I think I said Terry Farrell, Chase Masterson, Denise Crosby, Connor Trenier. Um, yeah, it was like just so many Star Trek actors together to celebrate this dude, Kenneth Mitchell, who's such an inspiration. He is really really amazing, just like to hear like his battle with ALS and how he fights so hard every day. The coolest thing I saw in Star Trek Las Vegas back in August, which there's a Text Trek stream where me and Starfleet Boy talked about it, and we did like another debrief for the cruise. But I saw Kenneth Mitchell's panel at Star Trek Las Vegas, and he had brought his son with him to the convention because he wanted to show his son how cool the Star Trek fandom is and the community is. And I know like there's a lot of toxicity on the internet, and I'm sorry, people who face that side of the fandom. But when you go to like these big events where like people actually have to like show up in person, people don't show up in person to complain about stuff or be assholes to the other fans. Like there's so much positivity, so much enthusiasm, so much acceptance, so much camaraderie, and he wanted to show that to his son. This guy, he doesn't have much time left in this world. The ALS is going to kill him, but he's fighting every day to stay alive so he can spend this time with his family, and he's choosing to spend time with the Star Trek family as well, and with us. And he's also watching Star Trek with his young son to like in get his son like invested into our community, and that is the coolest just thing I've ever seen in any Star Trek event ever. That's like one of the coolest things I've seen in my life. Yeah, the dude is just really awesome, and I'm so glad that we have him. I'm so glad that he was cast as Cole in Discovery season 1, and then he got to come back as two other Klingons, and then he got to be on Lower Decks, and then he got to be Arvelio in season 3 of Disco, and he gets to appear at these events and celebrate our passion, our hobby, our whatever you want to call it, our way of life. I don't know, but yeah, it's just great, and I'll always cherish Kenneth Mitchell and his contributions to the fandom.
Yeah, I heard all that stuff and it really touched me. And it was I'm so embarrassed that it didn't dawn. I'm so like in world that when they said the USS Mitchell, I was like Gary Mitchell. And then when someone pointed out it's Kenneth Mitchell, I'm like, duh, of course. Like that's an amazing thing to do, is to name it after to name it after him. So yeah, the USS Mitchell was an
And we'll always
awesome
have that
touch.
ship. There's gonna be an
Yeah.
Eagle Moss of it. It's gonna be in Star Trek
Yeah, it's
Online. Like
true.
that ship will appear in future versions of the Star Trek. It's like that. The Mitchell is always gonna be part. That's the shit is like so permanent. Like it's real. Like it's like, I know it's not
Hmm.
real, but it's like it lasts.
Yeah.
You know, it has
It
staying power.
it does. Indeed. I mean, I feel like Star
It's
Trek
gonna outlive us. That's beautiful. I love
yeah,
that. None of us are gonna see every episode of Star Trek because they're gonna keep making it after we're gone. You know,
that's
but
crazy.
that's the way it should be. That's the way I want it. It's bigger than me.
Joel's asking a really valid question. Why would you even name it after Gary Mitchell? It's true.
That's what I said. People are like, well, yeah, it's like it was the one out on the edge of the galaxy. And it's like,
It's a really good question.
I don't know. I mean, like you get really into like the. I think there's might be even a conversation. I'm not qualified to have it, but someone should have like the conversation about like the psychology of like why people make some of the comments on the internet they make. Like, are you just trying to like show all of us that you know who Gary Mitchell is? Like, do you want like validation for like knowing that, you know, like it's weird. Like why would you even make that stretch?
I think for me it's like, for me when I made the initial, like I would never like insist that it's named after Gary Mitchell. I will say that it's obvious, it's since Kenneth Mitchell doesn't exist within canon as Kenneth Mitchell, like the ship's not called the USS Kenneth Mitchell. Maybe it is. That would be awesome. I
No,
hope
it's
when
the
they
Mitchell.
yeah. Are they spelled the same, or is Mitchell with one L Gary Mitchell?
I don't know how you spell
Hold on, let me see.
Gary Mitchell, but
We'll find out right now. Um,
I
yeah, no,
think
he
it's
has the
with
same.
one.
It's the same spelling. It's
Oh,
the
okay,
two
it's with
L's.
two.
So the issue there is just like, if you don't know who can
What's the
like
name of that actor who played him, by the way? Who played Gary Mitchell? He's in
oh
2001: A Space Odyssey. But
yes shit, I know him.
you know his pants ripped off when they were like doing like that fight. Like his pants ripped all the
What?
way off. Yeah,
Like ripped all the way off?
yeah.
Like he was
Like
in his underwear?
he was exposed
Father,
to
are
the
you taking
crew and the
advantage of the fact
actors.
that I've been drinking and
No,
like
really, I read it in a book, like one of the books in like the history of the original
I
series.
want to see that. I want to see that. Anyways,
Yeah, and he told the woman who played what was the name of the woman in that episode?
the Esper doctor, what's her name?
Yeah, the walking freezer unit. But anyways, he was like I guess like standing in front of her with his junk hanging out.
Gary Lockwood.
Gary Lockwood, yeah. But he said smile, you're on candid camera.
Shut up.
And this is what he said to her.
Wait, he wasn't wearing underwear? It was like he was exposed fully,
I
like
guess. And then she replied back with something like, "You're gonna take a picture of me with that little brownie," which I don't. But brownie seems like a weird word to use.
there's this is kind of cool. There's like a camera that would have been in service at that time, or popular at the time, was called the Brownie. Actually, a little before the 60s, but it was called the
Oh,
Brownie, and it was like this little mini, like a mini version of those, like, so you would look down and take pictures. So a Brownie was the name. It was called the Brownie because it was encased in a brown leather kind of
photography
like
lesson.
thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's why
Okay.
she would say that.
But
That's
she called it
awesome,
like a little
actually.
brownie. And
Yeah, a
then I
little
guess he got
brownie.
like real embarrassed.
That's hilarious. And yeah, it was like the first compact camera. It was like, because otherwise cameras were like these huge ass
She
things. Like,
she thought his was compact, I guess. But that's kind of cruel of her to say in front of everyone. But
I'm sure they were. I'm sure I couldn't have resisted that joke myself, actually, to be honest. Had I seen it. Let's see the actors. Let's give them credit because they're awesome actors. You have
Gary
Sally
Lockwood's
Kellerman.
really good and Where No Man Has Gone Before, by the way.
Yeah. Sally Kellerman playing Elizabeth Denner and Gary Lockwood
Dinner.
playing Gary Mitchell. So all I was gonna say is like if you like I feel like I know who Kenneth Mitchell is, so I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of Kenneth Mitchell first, and I thought of Gary Mitchell when I was watching the episode. Like I was like, oh, they didn't.
Well, they
But
mentioned
Joel,
the ship before.
yeah, but I hadn't thought about it. Like it, because
I
my
didn't
default
connect it
Mitchell,
either.
my default Mitchell is Gary Mitchell. But like obviously, named after Kenneth Mitchell. And it's awesome. But maybe it could be both. Your Discovery's all about can two
It's not
truths exist?
both.
No, but can
You don't
two
name
truths
ships
exist?
after Gary Mitchell.
It's true, it's true. But that being said, I would understand like I would associate.
Do you think Jet in Lower Decks is named after Jet Reno on Discovery? You know, Jet Manhaver?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't think so. I think that's the thing is like I think you think of the character first. Like at least me, I think of characters before I think of actors, and that's why I went there. So, but if anyone's
Oh,
insisting
okay.
that it's named after Gary Mitchell after learning about who Kenneth Mitchell is and what his contributions for Trek are, then you're being just like woefully ignorant. Like this is an homage to a human, like, and for the reasons that you said earlier. So yeah, 100%. But you could see where the confusion could come from because, well, Mitchell and Mitchell. But hey, Mitchell and Mitchell, it's a good idea. Um, let's see here. Why would you name it after Gary was? We already answered that, but USS Boulder would be better because it looks. I like the look of it. It looks like a mean ass ship. It's a good looking ship.
Well,
That 32nd
you
century.
also use a boulder to kill Gary Mitchell, so
That's true.
the
That's
the
true.
boulder makes
It
more
did look
sense
like a boulder.
to honor with a ship naming.
Oh, true, true.
And then if you're Dr. Tiana, you use a boulder on Commander
On
Ransom
Commander
too.
Ransom. There's a Ransom Admiral, right? On Voyager or something like that. Where is he? On DS9 maybe?
There was a Captain Ransom on Voyager,
Voyager.
Equinox.
Yeah, that's right.
You got into Equinox, right? Into season 5, or are you not there yet?
I am on season 5, and I feel like
Oh,
that's the
you
ship
ain't
that
there yet.
they were. No, I
That's the
saw that episode.
Prometheus. That's Message in a Bottle. That was in season 4.
No, the ship where they're like feeding off these aliens. Like the ship was feeding.
Oh yeah, that's
the,
at the
yeah.
end. That's the season 5 finale.
So I'm on season 6 already, Father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna say like the ship that split apart.
No, that was the Prometheus. I knew that.
Okay.
I was gonna say that. I would have been wrong.
Yeah, it looked like you were about to say like the ship that split.
Because I did. Yeah, I did this thing. Like
as soon as I heard you say like split, I was like, no, that's the Prometheus. That was Message in a Bottle in season 4.
Let's see. Starfleet Boy got drunk fast. What happened? We're like tonight. He got drunk fast. I wasn't even pre-gaming tonight. It's weird.
I haven't drank since I got back from the cruise, but I'm gonna drink in Chicago, I think. But it's gonna be my birthday while we're
I know. I'm excited.
while we're up there.
Sabotage. I blank out sometimes. Y'all have to take care of me if I blank out. Don't let me sleep with people, or kiss, or get kissy, or just shoo people off.
Okay.
I may have just shot myself in the foot right now. Because y'all might want to see it. But no, don't be tempted by my shenanigans when I'm blanked out drunk. Don't, don't do it. Oh my gosh. I think
maybe you shouldn't drink that much.
I won't drink that much.
Just rein it in.
But if
rein
it
in a little
happens,
bit.
sometimes people buy you drinks, and what are you supposed to do? You just don't drink it? Like, that's
we
rude,
need
right?
to figure out like we should do a meetup either
Yeah.
that Friday or the Saturday. I'm gonna need to do a text truck stream that Friday.
Well, what if it'll be after hours, though, like after the convention's over, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we can do it at like the normal time of 7
Okay,
7
cool.
p.m. So Chicago's the same time zone as me, so it'll be 7 there.
Yeah, it's true. All right, cool. Done. Oh yeah, that's so sad. Sally Kellerman did just die last month. Rest in peace, Sally Kellerman.
Maybe we should do the meetup Friday night. I'm sorry, Saturday night.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'll be there. I'll be in Chicago a day early.
You're getting there Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be there Thursday.
Oh, right on. So there's fun.
I'm getting there before Sean.
When does he get in?
So his flight got rescheduled to like a later time. So I get there like around noon, I think, and he gets there at like 4 in the afternoon or something. But the hotel's in his name, so I'm gonna have to like find something to do before I can check into the hotel.
CB says, so booster 1051-12 will become 1051-13 as it has successfully landed on the autonomous drone ship. Second stage still looking good. Wow. In Picard, they're about to launch the Europa mission, and I think it was Cerulean Blue who pointed out in your chat that that's a real mission that's going to go out in 2024.
Is it who's doing it? Like
it's a NASA mission, I think.
Or is it the European Space Agency? Like they
I don't know.
They do stuff too. Well, I guess if it's like a billboard in America, it was weird. Like Aaron pointed out, like that was weird. Like you would think like a private commercial entity like SpaceX would advertise, but why would NASA, advertise? But who knows? I thought we were doing the Ares mission. To go to Mars. That was like the.
Is that in 2024?
I don't know.
CB, fill us in on all the big missions coming up.
Ares project, NASA. That's what it's called. It's called Ares, right?
Whoa, Joel! What is Guinness Nitro Cold Brew? That sounds insane. I gotta try that. I'm gonna look for it at my local grocer. What? Oh, Peanut Butter Zittles Indica. I have a really nice indica that I should try. Very nice, very nice. Father, what's up with the carpets on the Twitter? Did you follow any of that stuff? And do you know what's going on?
I just saw like a lot of people say like they wish there was carpet on the Stargazer. I do too. That would have been my choice.
Tell me, I guess I don't care one way or the other personally. Although I understand why carpet is nicer. It just like the sound is better, right? Like there's not much.
Yeah, and it also it kind of makes Starfleet seem like a little
militaristic,
more comfortable, no, like less militaristic.
Oh, less. Yeah, you're saying carpet makes it less militaristic. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bolder statement. What is the history of carpet on Star Trek? It didn't just appear on TNG, did it? Or was TNG the first?
No, there's carpet on the bridge in the original series. There's like
is it carpet or is it like a texturized
it's like carpet?
You sure?
Yeah, because they wanted it. They wanted it to make it like softer for you don't hear like the actors' footsteps all the time.
Right, it was a sound.
There's
even
carpet on Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine has like Ops has carpet. Like when O'Brien is like down in the pit. He's down like that engineering pit.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like some of those close-ups, you can see the carpet on the floor.
I didn't realize
next to him. It's interesting. The carpet in Star Trek is something I started paying a lot of attention to about a year ago. I was like looking at here's like what the carpet looks like in the Voyager sick bay compared to
there's totally carpet on Deep Space Nine. What? How did I never notice this? Sorry, carry on. Keep going.
But yeah, so and I actually in one of the Text Trek streams recently, I said about Prodigy. I said, I like the Protostar. I think it's a neat ship, but why are there like all these metal floors inside of the ship? Why don't they have some of that, 24th century Starfleet carpet? So yeah, I would have expected it to be on the Stargazer or any of those 25th century ships that we saw on Picard, but it's not a huge deal. I think it looks more like Federation in that time period. I guess if you're a stickler for the visual continuity, that it feels more appropriate to go with carpet. But I also think it just, the Federation is kind of softer, more comfortable.
I like that too. I always thought the design of Federation ships tends to be like very like, almost bold in the sense that like we can design our ships to look like whatever the fuck we want. They don't have to be utilitarian. Like we can have these like long necks and weird shapes, saucer shapes, and like cylindrical shapes. That it's just because it's pretty, you know. Like I always like that. And in fact, all the future species, I think Discovery hits home on that even more. Like once their technology advances to a certain level, they're making like seashells rotating in space. Like, you know, it's like kind of cool, you know. I mean, it's like it's pretty far out, and I kind of like that. Like I've never seen anything like a space station. Maybe Babylon 5 was the last space station that was like wild looking or weird looking, you know, other than the space station in Discovery. Did you freeze again, Fathery? I think
No, I was just listening to you.
By the way, Joel says it's Guinness brewed with coffee. That sounds like something that I need when I'm in Chicago. I'm gonna seek that out. That's gonna be the connection I'm gonna make. The
Chicago's a very Irish town, so I'm sure you can get Guinness of every stripe in Chicago. It's also the third most populated city in the United States, so yeah, it's gonna have a lot of products are sold there. It's a very big market.
You send one of ours to the hospital, we'll send one of yours to the morgue. What movie is that, Father? Do you
know? The Untouchables.
Yeah, very good. And that's like, considering that was like a really terrible Sean Connery, like the fact that that's good. That's good. Carpet rewatch. Dragonfly mission to Saturn's moon Titan is the most exciting mission coming up in the distant plannings. Radio stope power helicopter flying around exploring the planet. That is pretty cool. So that's going out in 2024, and I think Aaron did a poster about it, right? Like a proper poster. Like had NASA done it or something like
maybe.
That? Like a NASA
I don't know.
mission. I think I could have sworn I saw that. What other instances of carpet did you mention? So Voyager had it. Enterprise didn't have carpet, right?
Enterprise?
I think Enterprise is what
they got that blue floor in season 4.
Right, it's like a textured floor, but I feel like Enterprise is where the carpet.
Yeah, because they went into the past. They got more like submarine looking.
Yeah, there's no carpet on Enterprise.
There might be in like the crew quarters or something.
Let's see. Star Trek Enterprise crew quarters. Let's see if anything comes up on Google. Oh yeah, this looks like carpet. Hold on, let me see. A little better image here. This is like the crew quarters were so tiny on the Enterprise. I forgot how.
Yeah, and they had like those beams that you could like knock your head on.
This is a computer generated thing, but I didn't realize this is not.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if
it's like the size of my cabin on the Star Trek Furs.
Really? I feel like your crew's cabin seemed bigger. Did you all have a window cabin, or
we had a window that overlooked the promenade.
Oh, okay.
Not the ocean.
That's interesting. So at night, do you see like other cabins and people like, if they don't have their curtains drawn, do you see like folks in their cabins like hanging out?
Oh yeah, like if I open my curtains, like the promenade's like, you know, like a street in the middle.
Right.
Of it. Like people could I actually just stood up there and like waved at people, but no one ever like looked up and saw me. So, but yeah, it's like it was almost like having like an apartment window overlooking a street that people are walking up and down.
That's crazy. Joel wants to know, is there carpet in the decontamination room? Hard to clean, I bet. No, I doubt there's carpet there.
Yeah.
That would be like pretty bad. Is this like from Quarters Memory Alpha?
Who was it who was telling me that they had like before Enterprise started shooting, they had like adult like film stars or like porn stars, like porn actors in that decontamination room. Like they were testing out like the different gels, like rubbing them. Like, they had like these like naked women, like they would like rub the gel on like their chest to see what they would look like and be like, oh, let's try like this other, and trying to, figure out how they were going to shoot those decontamination scenes. And when they were, testing that out and doing like a, camera test with that type of stuff to see what it looked like on camera, every single producer that worked on Enterprise, they were all there on set, to weigh in on their opinions. I'm sure they were just trying to, figure out what would be best for the show. But yeah, that was a thing that happened in Star Trek.
That's so weird. I never heard that story before. That's really weird. Also very interesting. Cerulean Blue says the Defiance second version, the Sao Paulo, have blue carpet to match the walls trim or hard floors. Is it carpet on there?
I didn't like the Sao Paulo, but yeah, it looked a little. They redressed it.
Look, Disco has rugs. There's a rug.
Yeah.
What about rugs? No one's talking about rugs on the internet. They're just talking about carpets and floors. But what about rugs? Rugs are legit. Go rug. Do you have a rug in your home?
I do.
Is it okay to put a rug on top of a carpet, or do rugs only go on top of floor?
Yeah, don't do that.
Really? Like, what if you have like a really short carpet, like a thick, like it's almost like a floor, like, have you seen carpet tiles? Have you ever seen the carpet tiles? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like in office buildings? They're these large squares that you put down. They're tiles.
You know why does every airport in Florida have tacky ass carpet? The Miami airport is the worst, but the Orlando one has some tacky ass carpet too.
Someone needs to take a cue from Star Trek and outfit airports with that kind of carpet design. You know what I mean? Like these, like going back to this DS9 carpet. For example, I can't believe we're actually having a serious discussion about carpet. But like, wouldn't an airport look cool with carpet like this? Right? No?
Sure.
Like imagine like a whole concourse carpeted like this. It would be cool. But it's a lot to clean up, dude. Like, I clean my carpet like crazy and it's like flawless. But it's a lot of maintenance. Floors are way easier, I have to say. Do y'all have carpet in your home, Fathery?
The upstairs and the staircase is carpeted.
Don't you find it like so difficult to like keep it maintained?
I just have to vacuum it.
I have to vacuum it.
It gets dirty easily because like the dog sheds his hair.
Yeah.
And then I guess my hair has fallen out. Like I always find like my hair everywhere.
There's more carpet. There's so much carpet. TNG was like the carpet king. TNG took carpet to new levels, I feel like. Oh, here's an actual shot from Enterprise of carpet. Is there more carpet in Star Trek than floor? Or do you think it's like evened out now?
On ships, there's more carpet.
Let me see something.
But again, it has a dual purpose. From a production design point, it also helps pad the sound of actors.
Yeah, it's true.
When they're walking around.
Dave Blast jokingly says that he was cleaning carpets in his internship or whatever, or something like that. I forget, but it's like a joke or something, but it's kind of funny. I love cleaning my carpet. I use I have a Dyson for like the daily or like the weekly kind of ish. I do carpet cleaning a lot, but then I have one of those like wet vacs that like sprays the fluid and then you vacuum it up. Like, what's that called? It's like a steamer, but I can't remember the name of the brand or whatever. But anyways, we're hardcore about carpet. We have carpet, unfortunately. I was trying to get this image, but I don't know. Enterprise didn't really have a lot of carpet, I don't think. I still love this rug. I think it's the first rug in Star Trek. I think rugs should be... Yeah, I don't think I've seen a rug ever in Star Trek on a ship. other than disco.
I have to pay more attention to the floors going forward. Yeah, it is. It is something that I just kind of started looking at within the last year.
The refit Enterprise from the films does not have any carpet, does it?
It does, because some of those sets they're just reusing the Next Generation sets.
No, I'm talking about like early, like in before Star Trek 5, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's
Here,
pretty metallic.
this is this is like that texturized like material. It's like a rubber.
This is the set that was destroyed. That only you only see at the end of Star Trek 4. When you get to Star Trek 5, this bridge looks totally different.
Yeah, it's true. Let's see here. Decon chamber had the sonic shower area and then the sleeping area for longer stays separated by a door. Yeah, it's true. That was a unique thing to introduce that Enterprise
There wasn't a
introduced.
sonic shower, right? They didn't have sonic showers in Enterprise.
They had like
they
water
showered with, like,
showers,
normal
right?
Water. Yeah.
I would have killed to see decontamination on Voyager.
I guess it depends on who's getting decontaminated.
Yeah.
Is it Neelix or is it 7 of 9?
We saw the co-ed sonic shower. Well, I feel like Voyager had the first sonic shower, like a full shower scene.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh yeah.
By Leah.
Leah, it's true. But wasn't B'Elanna's like more traditional shower scene like sexy? Like it was like shower scenes. That's funny. That's like a thing in movies and TV shows, but you don't get it a lot in Star Trek. You get Archer taking a shower and like floating in that one scene. I guess it's interesting.
When the gravity plating malfunctioned.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool special effect because then you had like the water floating around.
Floating up, yep. Shining carpet or get get out. Let's see here. Star Trek. Let's look at the Star Trek 6 bridge. I think it's my favorite. Hold on. There it is.
I love the Star Trek 6 bridge.
Yeah. See, no carpet. Oh, carpet back there. It's both.
Yeah, it's
That's
metal
crazy.
in the front. It's like a mullet. Carpet in the back, metal in the front.
I think this settles the debate. Both carpet and floor coexisting is the perfect scenario. Yes.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, you could have metal some places and carpet other, like in the same set. That's
infinite diversity and infinite combinations, right? That is just a fantastic bridge, though. I love the Star Trek 6 bridge.
The best. Yeah, it's one of the best bridges for sure. It's such a beautiful bridge. It's such a gorgeous bridge. The balance of floors. We did it. Joel and CV, everyone who was waiting for this carpet debate to be solved, Father and I figured it out. Look at Sulu's chair is like ripped. Do you think it's symbolic?
Of how much George Takei hates Shatner. So Shatner ripped his seat.
I am Kirk. Oh, we had a debate question from earlier. Hold on, I don't know if I can scroll all the way back up in the chat. Let's see here. PJ made a funny joke about Paul Wesley running up to people screaming, "I'm Kirk!" Which is pretty funny. But then we had a debate question. Where is it? Hold on. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. What was the debate question? Who posted it? Was it Blue Sparrow? Let's go back all the way to the beginning here. Let's see. Father, you're totally falling asleep. We'll let you go in a second.
I'm
go
not
in a second.
falling asleep.
Okay.
I'm rubbing my eye.
Oh, poor Father here. I'm trying. Oh, here we go. Enterprise computer needed a binar upgrade debate. What is a binar upgrade exactly? Like, what does that mean?
Like that episode 1100101010, whatever the hell it was called.
Cerulean Blue. If you're still here, like what's the debate
back
here?
In season 1, where they go to the space dock, looking space dock.
Mm-hmm. CB, since you're still here and you're commenting, give us some more context on this question. Also, Joel, Fun, if you guys have debate questions, we can settle. We're so good at this. I feel like we're on a roll here. Cerulean Blue says, Fathery, to Paul, Hoshi, and Malcolm asked for extra time after their time in captivity, all sweaty and sitting silently with one another in front of that glowy lights in one scene in their underwear. I forgot about that. Such a sexy show.
Or a horny show.
Horny show. It was definitely horny. Binar upgrades steal your ship.
What?
We are we debating binar upgrades versus stealing your ship? Or are binar upgrades worth stealing your ship? I don't know.
Yeah.
CB, help us out here. What is another debate that's unsettled, Father, that you know about?
I don't see anyone ever calling that glowy light a sonic shower. So, if it is, that's news to me.
It's definitely like a UV thing. There's like a UV component.
There might have been like a contamination thing.
The Binar upgrade turned a hologram into someone that Riker fell in love with, and then when it was gone, she wasn't the same. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then he finds her again in Future Imperfect, and that's all he knows. It's all a lie.
How did they do that?
Because the little alien boy wanted Riker to stay and be his dad. So
that's right. He could read his mind. World. That's right.
Because at first it's like, oh, the Romulans did it. It was Tomalak. But then it's like, oh, it wasn't. It was actually this.
You say Tomalak the way I say sabotage. It's Tomalak.
Tomalak.
But I like Tomalak, actually. I'm going to start saying it as Tomalak from now on. I kind of like it better, even though Star Trek pronounces it this way. What's going on here? Is that carpet?
They're still in the Enterprise. That's what's going on.
Yeah, but like it's the opposite.
It's carpet.
But so now this is the opposite.
Carpet on the inside.
And flooring on the outside. Isn't that weird? That's crazy.
No, that's why Khan was trying to blow him up. It's like, you backwards bastards.
How did we get into this carpet thing? This is crazy. There's so much. This is like a rabbit hole, the carpet thing. I feel like that's why the internet's crazy about the carpet. Look at this. Oh, this is cool. Have you ever seen images of the set being built for Star Trek the Motion Picture? You probably have, Fathery. But check this out. Look at this shit. That's rad, isn't it?
Oh, cool. There's actually a bunch of documentation for behind the scenes stuff on the motion picture. That might be like the most well documented Star Trek movie ever. You can deep dive into tons, and there's just like mountains of information written about and the production of the movie was like drawn out so long that they kept like building and like rebuilding and then trying to like make sense of everything. One of the problems with the movie is that it was so fucking expensive. They spent so much money on all this stuff. But yeah, there's some neat shit out there. If you want a Star Trek movie you can deep dive into, then look at the motion picture. If you care about production design type stuff. Now so there is some fine carpet.
Yeah. And flooring. So the Enterprise always had carpet and flooring. Carpet. Oh, it is? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Up here too. You're right. It's true. Okay, so real quick, I want to answer. I think I got a debate to settle, which is we have are all Remans dead now?
As far as I know.
Are they dead? Why would they be?
There's some that are alive, but
why would they? Do you think the Remans got left behind?
I think they would not be a priority in the Romulan evacuation.
Oh wow, that sucks. Could they fend for themselves? They built the fucking scimitar.
You know what's a real common story in the Caribbeans is that like these European colonial powers would come over to like these islands and just totally like wipe out the native inhabitants, but then they would bring in a bunch of slaves from Africa, and then if they had to like abandon the island or something, they would just be like, all right, see you later, slaves, bye, and they would just like abandon them there.
Yeah. That is
very
completely
common.
true.
They might get hit by a hurricane or like run out of resources, or anything could happen.
Can we go back to carpets just for a second and floors? This set could use carpet.
Oh, that set is the floor is loud. Like that floor
It's
is like
so
yelling
loud,
at
right?
me.
Like, don't you think this set could use carpet?
They got their own aesthetic for that timeline. I think it's a good look. That
This
bridge
is
is so
wild.
fucking big. I feel like you could fit like the Stargazer Bridge and the Discovery Bridge in there.
It's an interesting bridge. Like, I like this module up here. That's new. It looks like it has scientific instruments of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
looks
what
very
they do.
techy. It
It
looks
looks techy. Yeah, it's like a module, like, which I like. I love all the modular stuff. Here's another look at this bridge. Not only does it have no carpet, but it has light up floors, which is the floor lights up. That's new for Star Trek, right? We didn't have lighty floors before. How come no one on the internet's talking about light up floors? Like, that's like crazy. Do we have light up floors in any other Star Trek before this? Like future tech, right? Like future ships had light up floors, maybe.
Yeah, I can't think of it off the top of my head if we did have it somewhere.
By the way, Father, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Did you celebrate? Do you celebrate St. Patrick's?
I
Do you all do
wasn't
something
able
awesome?
to. I was getting ready for the Text Trek stream.
You sacrificed to do St.
Yeah, I was actually working on that from 5:30 in the evening till about 2 a.m. So was that 8.5 hours?
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so
Dang.
I worked an 8 hour day, and then I worked on my Text Trek content for 8 hours.
Joel's like, funny that disco doesn't have light up floors. It should. The carpet might maneuver. This fun will now commence. The carpet might maneuver, and there will be a lot of mites. That's true. There's mites that live in carpet. I'm allergic to carpet mites. Look at this. What's going on here? Why would the Remans be killed? I don't know.
Because the Romulans are assholes and don't care about Remans.
You don't think
Look
it
at
has
that!
anything?
Look at that son of a bitch. Ain't no one gonna cry over him.
That's like, you know. Come on.
Hell, I'd abandon his ass too.
What's the deal with the Remans? Can you remind me? They came out. They were first introduced in the role playing games, right? Like they didn't exist before that, right?
Yeah, FASA, I'm sure had
FASA
a version
invented
of the Remans, in
yeah.
the old days, but canonically they were created for Star Trek Nemesis by the writer John Logan, and his idea was that they would live in darkness and they would have evolved into Nosferatu like albino creatures. They still have like the pointy ears of their like Romulan Vulcan heritage, but they're meant to be very Nosferatu-esque, vampiric. Like Shinzon is trying to get Picard's blood.
Blood,
the whole
yeah.
movie. It's kind of like a vampire motif.
Can I
going
say
on
something
there.
else about that? I like the idea that if Remans were around for a long time, that around the time of like the medieval era when Nosferatu, where Vlad the Impaler, those legends started to come around, maybe Remans had visited Earth and inspired those legends among humans. Like I would love to see like some kind of story where Remans maybe visited Earth in the past, and like this like idea of the vampire came from that. That might be an interesting thing.
Didn't Bram Stoker write Dracula in Ireland?
Maybe
in Dublin.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, but
Or
yeah,
he's from there or something.
But yeah, they totally look different from what I always imagined Remans when I remember the.
Where was
FASA.
Bram Stoker born?
Let's see. Here, I'll ask this stupid computer thing here. Hold on. Where was Bram Stoker born? In Clontarf, coastal suburb of north side of Dublin. So Clontarf.
Okay, that's what I said. It was Dublin.
Dublin, yeah.
So speaking of St. Patty's Day, so
Yeah.
the Irish never get credit for a lot of the things that are invented. And Ireland and Texas neither get credit. Star Trek was invented from a Texan. The modern day lore of vampires was invented by an Irishman. No one ever points that out though.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder why that is. Can you be a Reman? It looks like you can be a Reman in Star Trek Online. That's crazy.
Yeah, but who would want to be? That's how you get your ass abandoned before the Nova.
That's
Actually, Star Trek Online takes place after the Nova. But yeah, there's Remans running around all over the place.
Oh, okay.
I think it'd be a good idea for a Reman to show up in Picard.
You think so? But like, what would Picard be scared like the Locutus guy?
Would you be scared? Would you
Would
be scared if that dude showed up? He's like, "What's up? What's up, Starfleet boy?
Do you remember how Picard was
I just
scared?
subscribed to your channel.
Do you remember how Picard was scared both times? When
Where's Ruben at? How come you ain't got Ruben on?
He said he was gonna try to come on. I don't know. And Marcelo,
Did you
too.
send them the right link?
I did. I swear. Hold on. Let me check my text messages because I haven't checked. Follow last week when we were talking about Picard, or the week before that, Ruben and I got crazy again. We can't talk about Picard. Ruben and I can't talk about Picard.
No. Did he watch the first episode of season 2?
Yeah, and like he was just going off on these tangents, and I had to defend. I started going into defensive mode. It was like such a disaster.
He didn't like it?
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Mm.
Or what did he say? He tried to. I think I like harped on it. He might have been fair. I don't remember. It was like a complicated discussion, and plus I was drinking. So, here we have more. I can't believe we still have the Reman picture up. CB says, "You're right. The NX01 was UV and gel for decon. It seems Sonic decon was memory beta and 24th century, anyways." Bat Boy, yes. Oh my god, Bat Boy. He appears every now and then on those tabloids at the grocery store.
Reman.
It's
You should make that like your profile picture on StreamYard or something. I want to have a conversation with this Reman.
I have to remember Ron Perlman's like a delivery of that. Disco does. I can't believe we're tonight's episode. This is the most unique episode of Starfleet Brew After Dark, I feel like, in a long time. Disco does have clear ceilings. I guess there was a ceiling question. As we saw Pike walking under on his first trip aboard the ship on his way to take command from Saru.
You could see one of like their massive internal canyons and there's giant chasms that defy space and time.
I'm so glad none of that bullshit was in season 4, man.
Actually, the entirety of season 5 is going to take place inside one of those. They're gonna get the new spore drive. They're gonna repair the spore drive and they're gonna test it out. And Captain Braum's gonna say black alert, and then Stamets is gonna jump the Discovery, but they accidentally jump it inside of their own turbo lift chasm because it's so damn big, and then it's like the ship is stuck within itself.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, look at what our text message audience sent me this. This is weird. This is wild.
It's old Shenzhen.
Do you remember we speculated that Shinzon would somehow come into play when we saw Picard dressed as like a fascist?
I didn't.
I did. I totally speculated that.
Hey, you're doing like a Discovery season 4 stream?
Yeah,
When are
you
you
can come
doing
on. Maybe in a couple of weeks. Maybe next week.
You said you're gonna do it on a Sunday, but I'm like, he does Picard on Sundays.
Yeah, we'll probably do like 2. We could do a double. We could do some. We'll figure it out. Oh,
there's no like a non-role playing game
day. Yeah. There's no Picard tomorrow. I mean, there's no TOS tomorrow.
Why not?
So we were gonna do the empath, but it's Sub Commander's favorite. One
Oh
of
yeah,
his.
he loves that one.
He loves that one, so he can't make it, so we're gonna wait. But I also want to give it a fair shot because
Oh.
like so many people tell me they love that episode, so I want to like
I
really like.
I think it's very, very boring. So I guess I don't have to watch it tonight. I can do something else.
You could do something else,
Well,
yeah.
you could go on tomorrow and do your Discovery season 4. Or no, you haven't done. Have you talked about the? Or yeah, you already did.
Yeah,
So
we did
you
our
could do
last
that.
Thursday discussion. By the way, I'm so glad. Like like I don't stress nearly as much as like not stress, but I don't have it nearly as much prep as you do for Text Track, which to me I still think you're the fastest and most deep analysis of Star Trek. You're like on the scene Johnny. So like I'm really glad to give up that Thursday slime time slot because you guys do such a great job. I'm glad that like that's the first thing I'll see. And again, like my discussion of Picard on Sunday is going to be so much better because I watched your fucking discussion of Picard. So thank you. And I try to like I write notes sometimes and I quote you guys. So I always try to give credit when I quote you guys. I
Well,
do.
that's
I write
fair.
notes. I do. I try. You know I do. I do a pretty. I don't do a excellent job, but I do a pretty good job.
No, I've heard you do that before.
Yeah, I try to give credit when I have it. When I present an idea, I try to make sure that if it's not my idea, I give credit to who I heard it from. It may not be that person came up with the idea first, but that's where I heard it from. So, and I only listen to y'all and Trek on the Tube, who doesn't do reviews anymore.
I know,
so.
it's weird like watching Discovery. This is the first time ever in the history of Discovery that I haven't had any like Trek on the Tube videos to watch after each episode.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but I gotta, he's got a day job, he's got a family. I can't fault him. He's going back to his roots. He's doing a lot of videos that are more like involved with the lore of Star Trek.
Yeah,
I think
and he
that's
says
great.
he'll be doing season
Season
videos,
discussions and
which
stuff like that.
even if you just do that, okay, you're gonna have like a video to do like every 2.5 months with
Yeah,
all the
so it's-
shows that are coming
yeah.
out. It's in 7 weeks, Picard will be over, so then he can do a Picard video, and
Yeah, exactly.
there's still a lot of content opportunities.
I love this picture of Jean-Luc as Shinzon, or Shinzon as Jean-Luc. Here we go. Do shuttlecrafts have carpet? Yes, all the TG ones do.
Yeah, I think
I feel like
I think that's
every
pretty common for
Yeah.
shuttlecraft.
here, even the original series one, right?
I don't know. Go pull up an image from the Galileo 7. There's a lot of interior
Yeah, it's true.
shots.
I hope Dave Blass is watching this. I love him, by the way. He posts so much BTS shit online. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is really cool to have people that are that involved with the show that are also heavily involved with the fandom side, and they're using social media to stay connected to us. It's like every Monday they normally the episodes come out on Thursdays, and then typically on Monday they just flood the internet with a bunch of like cool behind the scenes stuff, which is what they should be doing.
Yeah.
It
I
reminds
wish
me like
Disco did that more.
do you remember like Ron Moore used to do like those AOL discussions in like the late 90s?
Yes, I actually do remember those.
Yeah, so is that carpet there at the bottom?
It looks like carpet to me. It's got that carpet signature look. Floors just don't look like that. They're more reflective usually,
Yeah.
typically, so The Killing, that was what it was about, I think. The Killing?
The Killing.
I don't know. Remind us, Joel, what you're talking about. Wow, we're at that point in the night.
The point where
Ve-
you need to be cut off.
Cut off. Who is the hooded Borg queen under there? Is it Girardi? Oh yeah, we got some
Maybe.
developments. Y'all didn't speculate about that too much.
Well, we don't
so-
do a ton of theory crafting.
Yeah, it's true. Father, do you have any ideas about the hooded Borg queen?
If I had to guess now, I'd probably say Girardi, but it could be anyone. Who knows?
For the last part of the stream, I don't know how long we're gonna last, audience, because I'm getting pretty wasted here. You can ask us anything about Star Trek. We're like two Star Trek, like, well, Father's an expert. I'm like, you know, I have random knowledge, so we can probably figure it out between the two of us. It looks like it will be Girardi. I feel like we can analyze the height of the Borg Queen. Hold on, let me go back over here.
Well, it's probably not her. It's probably a stunt woman. So I doubt that's Alison Pill or Jerry Ryan or any of those actors.
Oh, I didn't mean to share this screen. Hold on. I don't like to do Google searches on there. All right, I'll do it in another page. Borg Queen Picard, which, by the way, I'm not going to be able to find. I couldn't find a cheap enough helmet to do the Borg Queen.
Well,
they're like $300 for ones that look really good, and then I have to paint on top of it, which sucks.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend on something you're only going to wear one time.
One time, yeah.
But yeah, that's that is a mystery of. I mean, is it possible the Borg Queen is like no one we know? It's just like this is like what the Borg have. Their queen just manifests as this now.
Well, there's a lot of evidence to say that this is like an offshoot of the Borg, or a version of the Borg that like we may not have.
Well, they're nicer. These Borg are nicer than we've seen before.
Are they? Yeah, because they're stunning, right? Yeah, it's true. They're stunning.
Yeah, and they're saying like, we want to join the Federation. We want to join the Federation. Power. Send us Picard. Send us Picard. And then when Picard shows up, it's like, okay, I'm gonna eat some of this power, and then we'll talk.
Are you finding Star Trek Picard? I'm a little upset at myself for watching any trailers for Star Trek Picard, because there's some cool things that I wish I hadn't seen in the trailers, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it would have been awesome if we didn't know that there was going to be this time travel thing.
Yeah. But
there's like leaked pictures that like ruined that a lot, and that's why like I don't like talking about like the leaks. I don't take any of that stuff and never share any of those images on my streams. I don't report on those stories. I haven't been officially announced. I know like the people working on these shows, like they try very hard to keep this stuff secret so they can surprise us. So yeah, I only talk about like the officially announced stuff.
Starfleet Boy really badly wanted to be the Borg Queen for Star Trek Mission Chicago,
but not bad enough to spend $300 on a helmet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Which is a wise choice.
I'd rather spend that money on photos or autographs, unfortunately, because
we're at some eating some like Chicago style
pizza. Yes, sir.
Go to some Irish pubs.
We saw the mystery woman in red running over cars in one of the seasons ahead trailers, and it's Girardi doing like superhero shit. She gets special powers somehow. Father, you talked to me about nanoprobes, because as you know, I'm not like super well versed in Voyager. Like, I haven't really seen a lot of Borg stuff. Like, I've seen a little bit. Like, I saw that episode with the Borg, that special Borg. What was the name? One? Was his name One or something?
Yeah,
like
the name of the episode I think is Drone.
Drone.
It's confusing because there's an earlier episode of Voyager that's called One, but it's not the episode about One.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called Drone.
Drone. Yeah, you're right. That's
boring, lame Voyager title.
But I haven't really like spent any time. I saw the one where Seven had to like reintegrate those people into a mini collective, and that broke my heart. Like, there's a lot of good Borg stuff in Voyager, actually.
Yeah, there is. No, I agree with that.
So talk to me about these nanoprobes, because I don't know a lot about how that shit works.
I mean, they're like little bitty tiny robot things.
I saw the episode where they saved Neelix with it, but how is it that he didn't get assimilated? How does he have
they were Seven's nanoprobes. They're not like connected to the collective.
So nanoprobes continue to function once you're so like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
Seven has a bunch of nanoprobes in her body.
And when they're not, so nanoprobes are neutral. They're not like menacing like the collective. They don't always try to assimilate. They're just trying to fix you.
They're like probably a fair way of
They're like fixing you. They're like
they were convenient. They were convenient in Voyager because they could have like 7 of 9's nanoprobes do whatever they needed them to do.
And they heal. They keep you young looking. They like heal your organs. Like if you get injured, right? Would you say it's fair to say that with Seven's nanoprobe, she might have like accelerated healing, not maybe like the way Wolverine has, but like
But
better than a
yeah, yeah,
human. Yeah.
she's yeah, like they keep her in good health.
So could nanoprobes come into play for Elnor? Because I'm so bummed about fucking Elnor, man.
He's dead, but he'll come back as like a when they correct the timeline.
What if he stays? What if he becomes assimilated somehow, though, and becomes like the Borg Queen's like hench person? Maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
happen.
what happens with Elnor. They took Soji off the board and they took Elnor off the board, so it's very interesting what's going on this season.
I don't know. I don't think we'll see much of them this season or in season 3.
Borgified or warged by the Watcher. Yeah, what's your theory? You guys didn't do much theory crafting, but this Watcher character, it's. I think it's gonna be someone new. Like I don't think it's gonna be a reference to anyone we've ever met before. Like some people are speculating it's Guinan. I don't think it's
Guinan's a listener.
Yeah, she's a listener, not a
watcher.
watcher. Good point. Yeah, great point.
I mean, I guess it could be, but
yeah, I don't think
are they gonna like digitally like de-age her? It'd be weird.
It'd be weird, but they could pull it off. They did a great job with Q. Do you know anything about how they did that, by the way?
I think it was just CGI over his face.
The lips were the most realistic.
It's a quick shot.
Yeah. What do you think of Joel says I do not like the new Discovery shuttles. They don't have carpet for sure. They definitely have floor, by the way.
I was thinking that earlier when we were talking about shuttles. I'm glad that they have. I'm glad that like they're not using like the standard Discovery shuttles, that they actually have a 32nd century shuttle.
Oh, I found this other picture of the Queen. I just love the fucking Queen. She's so cool. I'm obsessed with her. There she is. Okay. Fun will now come inside. Do you understand why Girardi is leaping over cars while wearing that dress? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really bummed that we know they save Rios. Because the stakes, you know what I mean? Like those of us who've seen the trailers see the rest. We've seen the rescue scene. You know what I mean? Like, I think I might never watch a trailer for Star Trek again after this.
Yeah, I only watch trailers for like the upcoming seasons, but then like after a season has started, you know how like the end of the first episode they'll be like later this season in Star Trek Picard or whatever. I never watch those. And then, like, I don't mind the week to week trailers. I never watch.
I don't mind the little preview clip.
I don't look at like the images that they release on Mondays. I don't look at any. I don't read the synopsis.
Yeah, it's a good idea, man.
And my life is better for it.
Because I don't mind the Will Wheaton.
Yeah, I don't watch those. I watch the Ready Room, and then it gets to the end, and they're like, "Oh, here's a clip from next." Yeah, I turn it off.
Wow. Oh wow, I'm way behind on the chats here. Let's catch up a little bit. They're all jelly roll looking blobs. I need me some sexy plump nacelles.
Oh, about the shuttles is what he's talking about?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Starfleet shouldn't kill people, I think.
Starfleet kills people sometimes. I think like on the scale of like non-lethal, you have like I got like my Batman and Superman, Spider-Man, superhero. Like I don't want them to kill people at all. That should be like maybe if like they absolutely have to like save other people's lives, but it should like be a non-existent thing for the most part for them. And then next to them is probably who's more lethal? I guess Starfleet, and then after that maybe like the Doctor from like Doctor Who.
Oh wow, I didn't think about that. But yeah.
The Doctor is less lethal, so it'd be like okay, so like the Batman, Superman, Spider-Man don't kill people, and then like the Doctor might if he thinks that. You know, if that's what he's concluded is necessary.
I'm trying to think about it. The Doctor doesn't directly kill, but the Doctor will let people die, I feel like.
He blew up that dude on dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Wait,
Solomon.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Then like next you have like Starfleet. I'd say like Starfleet is more. Starfleet will go to war. Starfleet will blow up other ships. Starfleet
Yeah, they
they
definitely
don't
have a
do it if
bigger
they
count. Yeah, body
they'll
count.
try to
Yeah.
like stun people if they can. But yeah, like they do. Starfleet does kill people sometimes. You know, they run around with guns and they shoot torpedoes and phasers and stuff.
I've
But
I
and then you go to like Star Wars to Jedi. Like Jedi kill people like pretty
No
liberally.
problem. They're like cutting through you like butter
Yeah,
with those fucking lightsabers if
yeah.
you're in the
But
way.
what are we talking about this in reference to? Like who did Starfleet kill that Joel is talking about?
Yeah, Joel, elaborate on that thought. Maybe Joel has. Let's see. Is Tarka dead? I think he's dead. He's
Oh,
definitively
he says
dead.
Ruben was saying that Starfleet, but Starfleet kills people sometimes. But
But can I just say something? I know
who did they kill in Picard that he's
look, they're
talking
not
about?
here to defend themselves, but and maybe they'll come on if they're listening. I don't know, but both Ruben and Marcelo contend that like the murder in Star Trek in the newer Star Treks is like it's out of control or whatever. But I think they're
What
just like they're
what
suffering
murder are
from.
they?
They're like referring to like just Star Trek seems to have murder with no consequences now, whereas in the past you had murder with consequences. I think it's bullshit. Personally, like I can think of like I don't want to like I just don't like those conversations because it's like that's when you're going into the weeds and the minutia and it's like stupid to me. Like I'm just more focused on the big picture of Star Trek. Like I like the overall message of Star Trek. Like to me, like people dying and not dying, it's important in real life, but on a TV show, fuck it. Like I don't give a shit. Like if
I mean,
people, yeah,
Picard. I mean, I'm Picard. Kirk.
there's just so much death on TV. Like that's a healthy
I'm
outlet.
trying. I'm like trying to go through like original series episodes or like they blew up ships or.
I don't take death conversations seriously on TV or media or like films or books because that's the proper outlet. Like we
But
shouldn't be
I
you
do
know what I
agree.
mean
Like
like
it shouldn't just be like they shouldn't just be like running around like blowing people up like left and right. But I don't.
but like look at TNG. TNG stopped doing disintegrations. Now disintegrations are back. Like I mean like you know what I mean
I'm glad that
like
they're back. I think they're
I me
cool.
too. I love disintegration. It's satisfying. I want there has to be healthy outlets for violence, and I think TV is the place to have it. You should be okay. It's okay to think violence is cool in to a degree on TV. That's where you should express your violent
But I
tendencies.
mean,
Like, you know what I
I
mean?
like
Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate the Zack Snyder Batman who like runs around with machine
right.
guns and shoots
I
people.
that's a different
So
conversation. There's like integrity of a character
I
is
don't want to
different
see
from
that
like
in
yeah,
Starfleet.
yeah, I get what you're saying about that. Yeah. Like Picard shouldn't be just murderous all of a sudden. And he's not. Like the like where it counts, Star Trek
No,
stays true.
who is Picard killed in the new
No one. He's
shows?
never killed anyone. Except for like you know, when he was the Borg, when he was like Locutus. That's the only
Yeah, that
time.
doesn't count. That wasn't
Yeah, it
his
doesn't
fault.
count.
Oh, no, Eleanor killed people, but he wasn't Starfleet. Uh,
Yeah, no, that's the other
the
thing. Like, yeah, that was the like they want to see Elnor face his crimes. I'm like, but he was.
Seven killed Bajazil, but they make like a big deal about that. So like they
I think Seven's gonna still atone for some of that. I think there's still yet atonement yet to
I mean,
come.
I can understand saying like that might have gone too far. I can
Yeah.
but you know, given the story that they told, I think like the death of Ichib is the thing that would push her to that point.
Also, that was like I get that like, but I was telling people like I didn't know Icheb, but I knew Hugh, and like Hugh's death affected me, and you know this is the thing. Like,
Oh,
okay,
Narissa dies, but I mean
Narissa dies. Yeah,
that was like when Kirk is fighting Christopher Lloyd in Star Trek 3. It's like
exactly. I've
like
had
the
enough
fight's
of
gonna
you.
end in someone's death, and
Yeah,
then even that like weighed heavy on Seven. And she's like, I wish it didn't have to go that way. You know, I didn't want to do that
yeah.
again to someone, even if they were terrible and deserved it. So I wouldn't say it's just like it, you know, without reflection. There's some other examples I can't think of. But I don't see like Picard season 2 doesn't have any of that.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, Elnor is back. But I love this episode of Star Trek Picard Leah Thompson directed, and you know episode 3. I think it's like an awesome structure so far that we're getting in terms of the story. Like Brian, I was like deeply disappointed at Elnor's death. Because it does feel like they're gonna bring him back to life. And then if they don't bring him back to life, I'll be heartbroken also. So this just sucks. The Elnor situation just sucks for me. But now I finally understand they each had people. They were like,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. One thing about the Elnor death that I was talking about on our stream. I don't think Brian understood what I was trying to say, but um, he seemed confident that like no matter what, if you erase that other timeline, that this never happens. But
I
I'm
don't
saying
think
like
that's the stakes are
yeah,
high.
it could
Yeah,
go
it's
either
true.
way. It could go. It's like the Yar from the that came from like the alternate timeline that existed in yesterday's
And
Enterprise.
she died, by the way.
She continued. Yeah, she died, but after she got back to like the proper timeline,
Right.
like she continued to exist even after they erased that timeline.
Right. That's an yesterday's. Yeah. Can I just say, like, I feel like these first three episodes of Star Trek Picard are referencing, but in a proper way, so many things that have come before that it's mind-boggling how they were able to craft it so well. Like, it doesn't feel contrived to me too much. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
it's
they had extra time to write this season. I think that's the
yeah,
biggest
that's
improvement.
what
The biggest
shows.
reason for the improvement in the writing.
Hey, I'm willing to wait for my Star Trek. I say they take time between seasons. Like, I'm down to like wait for. Oh, there's my baby. Look at him, so sweet.
Evan Evagora was on the Star Trek cruise.
I know you got to talk. Did you get to interact with
No,
him?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
never talked to him at all.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
barely saw him. He was one of the actors I saw the least. Now that I think about it,
He was there with his partner, his girlfriend.
I didn't see her either.
I
I mean,
saw
maybe
their
I did.
Twitter
I don't
feeds.
know
They were hanging around in some bar area a lot in the Twitter feeds. I don't know.
which bar.
I
He's kind of like a low profile dude. He doesn't really stand out. So I might have been right next to him. I didn't notice.
I didn't even notice. That's crazy. I would definitely notice him, and I hope I see him in Mission Chicago. I didn't see if he was announced on the roster. I don't think he was.
I don't know if he is.
What's the pattern on his freaking?
It's a Delta.
It's also a Delta? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, textures. You know, you're shooting in HD, you might as well add some.
Like Larry Nemechek always says, texture, not trivia.
Here we go. One is about Seven being alone aboard Voyager.
Yeah.
Drone was about Seven's son that she had with Ensign Mulcahy and the Doctor's emitter. I feel like there was a husband of mine that died in that episode in the beginning.
Maybe it does open with a
Death or something, yeah.
yeah, the nanoprobes take over the emitter and yeah, grow this advanced drone
Yeah,
with advanced future technology.
Joel's reminding us that was the big dust up, is that Ruben and Marcella were just obsessed with like murder. I think it's like bullshit, to be honest. I'm sorry you're not here to defend yourselves, Marcella and Ruben, but
I'd have to hear their case. I mean, I think there might be some validity to it, but I don't know if I would say obsessed.
they're obsessed.
I mean,
it's bullshit.
They and sometimes to say like Starfleet doesn't kill
Marcella,
people,
I'm
I think
telling you, you're obsessed.
is incorrect.
Yeah, it's true.
Whoever was bringing that up, but they do it as like a last resort. But you know, sometimes Starfleet takes military actions.
Oh, you know, that's a debate that we didn't talk about. Hold on. All right. Father, you can help me out with this one. This one might be good. So we'll end on this debate because we're almost coming up to 2 hours and 30 minutes here. We don't want to do a 3 hour stream. A 3 hour stream. Is Starfleet a military org? All right, that's our final debate here.
Yeah, I would say it's like a secondary function. It's primarily a exploratory
group, right?
and diplomatic entity, but they also can perform military functions as well.
That was one of my most controversial tweets ever. I've never seen more comments on a tweet of mine than my Starfleet is not a military tweet.
I mean, they do say that in Star Trek Beyond. Simon Pegg like literally says we're not a military organization.
They do call it a peacekeeping armada, which I don't know how I feel about the word
Well,
armada.
peacekeeping armada is a military organization.
Organization, yeah, exactly. That's what I didn't like that exactly.
That's like
Yeah.
saying like NATO is not a
Well,
military
weren't we the
organization or
United
something.
States trying to say we were the police of the world or some bullshit like that, right? Like for a time
Yeah.
in the 80s, we were the world's police or something like that. Like we were trying to be the peacekeeping organization armada of the world. I'm glad we stepped away from that narrative, but it always bothered me. Even as like a teenager, I was always like, "Oh, that's scary." It's like,
But
by the way,
but
there's
no,
no
they
police in Star Trek. Also, by the way, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but there's security forces, which is totally different from a
except
police.
for in Picard season 1 when they said like the police brought Picard back to the chateau, which I hate that. Yeah, because I want the
Wait,
police to be abolished in the future.
I didn't realize that. Did that happen?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Zaban says that.
oh shit! I didn't
But
realize
he's a
that.
Romulan. He probably like
He
he
probably
probably just
thinks
calls
that
the security forces police because yeah,
police.
he's
Yeah, it's true.
Romulan culture and all.
Good. I like that. I
Um,
like that.
but when Starfleet when the Federation goes to war, who do they send to fight the wars?
Well, according to what we've seen, they send the regular fleet, like
They send Starfleet.
Starfleet. Yeah.
So they definitely
But that's
do
because
do military
like
stuff.
when you're exploring space, like I feel like the Starfleet, like I think what people are missing is like Starfleet isn't like naive. They know when you're exploring space, you need defensive capabilities, and so they try to they're not afraid to invest in the best defensive posture capabilities, and I think that's one of Burnham's most egregious like violations is that her plan in the Battle of the Binary Stars is to strike first. That's like that's the thing that's egregious. I think that's what people miss the point on is that it's not that Starfleet has always been like we don't fire first. Like that's the thing. And that's what's different to me from a military. I feel like militaries tend to be more of a aggressive force
Well, you
like.
could be a military that doesn't fire first, but the thing
But
is
what's
like
a good example? Like that's what I'm trying to say is like what's an example of a military like that in the real world?
I don't know,
I
the
can't.
Canadian military. Has the Canadian military ever shot first on someone?
That's a good question. I'm sure they have. I am gonna say
But
I'm sure they have.
uh, I don't think that's what determines if you're a military or not. But I'm saying
I
like I
see what you're
don't.
saying. Yeah.
But Starfleet does fight wars. Like you can't say
Yeah.
they don't fight wars when like Deep Space Nine spent 2 seasons of Starfleet fighting a war, and like we see like their wardroom where they have like strategy meetings with admirals and with General Mart, and they coordinate. Oh yeah, like we'll see like these fleets here will go blow up this Ketracel white plant over here, and then we're gonna engage these ships here. Like those are military functions. Those are military practices. But I don't think that's the primary purpose. I think if you say yes, Starfleet is a military organization, or if you say no, Starfleet is not a military organization, I think both those answers are wrong. I think I think it's more nuanced than a yes or no question. I think it is a primarily exploratory and diplomatic organization that also performs military functions as well for the Federation.
See, I have no problem with your statement that you just made right now. That I'm 100%. Me, that means there's no organized militaristic or military. It means we're ready to be militaristic to face the situation, but we are not. That's not our primary function. Whereas a military, your primary function is defense or offense. Like you're ready for the war. Like that's what all you prepare for. You're constantly drilling. You're a navy, an army, and an air force. Whereas Starfleet's different. It's the space force. Shout out to I keep thinking of her freaking Twitter name, but Tawny Newsom, thank you, who's on Space Force. But like I guess like to me like it's like a Space Force that's not defense. It's not. Its inherent thing is not, I don't know, it's too complicated. It's just, to me, it doesn't vibe with anything we have today. I don't know. But I get it. There's ranks. I get how you can, like, I get it why it's confusing. They use the rank structure. They use everything that we're familiar with.
I mean, yeah,
military,
it's
you know what
based
I mean? Like,
it's based on naval stuff largely.
stuff, yeah.
But like navies used to do a lot of the
Exploration, yeah.
But I mean that was something that Gene Roddenberry spoke a lot about. Is he wanted them to be they're closer to NASA than they are the military.
Yeah, I like that. That's how I see it too.
But they
Like,
still do the military stuff. They can still
as of right now,
go.
yeah, like that's it right there. That's what it is now. Like we don't see any like danger right now. But NASA missions, there's no, as far as I know, there's no weapons or anything on any of the NASA missions or any of our spaceflight missions.
Right.
Right.
So
like,
So Starfleet is like more military. Than NASA.
So maybe I'm wrong.
They're more NASA than they are military.
NASA's like the purest form of what I'm thinking of. That's like, I think that's what I focus on for Starfleet, is that, like, to me it's I gotta reevaluate.
But I like Star Trek for an incredibly large variety of reasons, and yes, I absolutely love that they are exploration first and diplomacy first, and they want to focus on those things and go and be explorers and go learn more to become a better federation, and also to help other people. I love all of that, but I also love like when they do have to fight people. When sometimes you need those action. Those
you like
big
to
battles.
see the aggressors not win. You know what I mean? Like, you like to see like a defensive force be like, "Yo, we don't want to fight you, but if we have to, we're gonna win because we're really good at this shit." Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's true. We have another debate topic proposed, which is, should we bring back karate chops to the neck to knock people?
Yes. Yeah, they I mean, it's not just like a TOS thing. Every Star Trek show does this. Like, if you need someone to go to sleep, and you can do it with like one punch. A lot of people, they'll do like the double fist punch and knock people out. Yeah, it's a pretty common trope. It's actually like unlikely in real life when you just like punch people and they just like go to sleep, and then they wake up a couple of hours fine with like no major injuries, and then every time you need to do that you can just punch them and they go to sleep. It's not very realistic, but that's just something that most TV shows do, so
That's cool. We have another debate question, but I need more clarity on this one. So fun will now commence as debate. We got someone popping in at this like late hour. What is this, Marcelo? Yo, what's up, Marcelo?
Hey guys, what's up? I'm just a drunk guy off the street looking to have some fun.
Shit, we're almost finished, Marcelo, but we have some debate topics.
We have some
comments to read. So
what was that last one?
All right, debate. Is the ship that shows up in the first episode of the season of Picard on an assimilated La Sirena? Oh, you mean like the vagina ship?
Oh, no, that thing is a Borg ship. I don't think it's La Sirena. It looked pretty big.
It's ginormous. No pun intended.
I mean, I guess it could be like a tiny little La Sirena with the rest of the Borg ship is like
like La Sirena could be in there, right?
Yeah, it's like in the heart of it or something. But I don't see anything that suggests that. But yeah, I mean, like, it's time travel, so anything's possible.
Holy shit, Marcelo! What are you doing up at 2 a.m? I love that you came on, though. I appreciate it.
I told you guys I would be here.
But I don't know. How did you be on to 2 hours? No, we usually go on that long. It's true. What do you think? Is the Borg vagina ship is the G spot the La Sirena?
There's no it's just La Sirena.
Oh, is the G spot La Sirena?
I don't think so. I think that Borg
is that a legit thing? Is there a real thing called the G spot? That's real, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. Yeah. Okay, I'm imagining the heart of the Borg. If according to this debate topic, the heart of the Borg ship would be La Serena, and the heart of like this like yonic beautiful vagina Borg ship is the G spot. So that's why I said that. Just so you know.
Okay, but I think that Borg vagina, because that's what it is. I think that Borg vagina finds other ways to pleasure itself in space. Maybe with a giant space whale or something like that. Maybe. Uh,
Maybe Q's trying to tell Picard that what needs to happen is like, because he doesn't have. Never mind. I'm not gonna go. It was too
oh
much.
come on! Man.
I bailed. I bailed on my joke. It was too much. I was just saying, like, this whole episode seems to have like a romantic. This whole season so far seems Jean-Luc seems to be on a romantic journey of some sort as well, like a on the side, like a should I like love and give up a little bit, like the Antonia debate from like Star Trek Generations, like Kirk settles down and wants to be with Antonia. Yeah, I know.
But you know what? The Antonia debate in Generations should have never happened because it should have been Yeoman Rand.
Oh, but it's too complicated.
Yeah. I know.
Really, it should have been Yeoman Rand. I think Carol Marcus was the love of his life.
They had like a scene together in the motion picture where he's like, "You did everything you could, Rand," but like he barely seems to pay any attention to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then
but even
she hadn't been in his life for so long.
Yeah. Even with that being said, I would have been comfortable with what you guys just said. If it would have been Carol Marcus, that would have been better. Like the fact that it was nobody that we've seen previously in canon made no sense to me.
I didn't like it. There's no one that I wanted to see Kirk. I didn't like that as like his dream. Like he wanted to like be like out of Star. I wanted Kirk to always be like, I always want to be in the captain's chair in the action. I picture like his ideal fantasy world. He is still in the captain's chair. He is still on the Enterprise. You saw the way he looked at that chair at the beginning of Generations when he's like, "That's where I belong. I know it." He should be in the Nexus, but he's created this fantasy Enterprise, and Spock is there, and Bones is there, and David is alive. David is like one of his science officers on the ship. David is there. And Gary Mitchell never went insane and turned into like the scary god. Gary Mitchell is there. And it's just like this perfect fucking Enterprise crew having kick-ass adventures. And he's just rolling around the galaxy doing badass captain shit. That should have been Kirk's dream, in my opinion.
Can I I'm the oldest one in this little group here, right?
Yeah.
Can I tell you when I was in my 30s, I would have totally agree with you. But now that I'm entering my 40s, like one of my biggest regrets is not settling down. So I kind of get it. Like I've always been the captain of my own ship. I've always done my own thing. I've always put like my dreams above like petty things like relationships. And now that I'm like getting older, I'm like, no, like I missed out on a huge thing. Like, because I have experienced like a deeper love with another human, not quite like Tarka, I would say.
It was Oros. You're trying
it was not Oros. It was not like that kind of thing, but it was more like I get the Antonia thing personally because it's like that truly is the strange new world for someone like Kirk. That is like the thing that he's never tried, and so to me, I'm vibing with it, and now I'm like, man, like, will I ever find that? Like, will I ever find my Antonia?
But you know what was the worst part of it for me is when Picard is trying to tell him, like, you don't understand. We have to go save these people. And then Kirk is just so like, oh, well, maybe I don't want to. Maybe the galaxy owes me one. Maybe I get to just stay here and be happy. And I hate that they made Kirk that selfish to make Picard look like the better big hero, because it was, a Next Generation movie, and so they have to put Picard on a pedestal, which is fine. I get, Picard needs to be the glorious hero of the movie. That makes total sense. What I, to this day, just fume over is that they got Picard up there by stepping on Kirk and pushing Kirk down, and I don't like that.
May I offer another perspective here? Like, as Obi-Wan says, another point of view. So I've always been in leadership roles in my professional career. outside of Starfleet Boy, which I don't consider it professional. This is like my passion, but anyways, I've always been in leadership roles, and like I get it. Like there comes a point where you're like, you really have to like hand it over to the next generation. Like you really have to like kind of say like, okay, it is time for me to be a little more selfish and a little bit more like, I've done my bit for king and country, to quote Captain Kirk, you directly. How many times do you have to save the universe? How many times do you have to do all those things? Like at some point it has to like be like, okay, let
It
the
has to
next
end.
well, it just has to not end, but like at some point you have to give someone else a shot, like someone else, and that's what like that represented to me, was like Kirk finally being like, you know what, you can figure it out. You're smart as fuck. Like, why are you bothering me? I'm glad that like, to me the whole thing of Kirk and Picard is that like he came along because it was fun, and that's literally why he did it. Like because it was fun, and sadly he died. I didn't want Kirk to die, of course, but not that way, anyways. Like I wanted him to go out differently, but at the end of the day, like to me, like I'm starting to get that. Like maybe I don't know. We'll revisit this conversation in 10 years when y'all are my age, and see how you feel. But I kind of
I
feel
think Star Trek
Kirk.
Generations will still be my least favorite Star Trek movie in 10 years.
We'll
but I'll
figure
mark it on the calendar.
Yeah, mark it
And
on
in
the calendar.
2032, March 18th, 2032,
We'll
talk about
revisit this subject and talk about it. A few more comments, and then I think we're gonna end the stream. But Marcel, is there anything like any other debates you want to like, real quick debates while we go through this?
I just wanted to get the panel's thoughts on the casting of Paul Wesley as a younger version of James T. Kirk in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. Either of you?
I think he looks. I think the vibe is, and I think Father might agree with this, a little more Kirk than Chris Pine.
Yeah, just the
overall
physically
look.
he looks
Yeah.
he looks a little bit more like Shatner
Yeah.
Kirk. Yeah, I think he
And
he when I saw like those leaked pictures of him, that was my first thought, was like, oh, he kind of looks like Kirk to me. So I wasn't that surprised when.
And we
they
actually
announced it.
settled the debate about, does Kirk belong in Strange New Worlds? I think we did a good job of like covering that, and so Marcel, I encourage you to go back and listen to
Yeah.
the beginning.
I said it was
of
too
the
soon.
conversation. Yeah, and I said it's
Not a big deal.
not a big deal. I actually like remember when we were like in a hyperbole kind of thing. I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So I kind of do feel a little satisfied that it is happening. Just because I predicted it.
No,
correctly.
they're not going to be able to resist anything. We're gonna see Scotty. We're gonna see McCoy. They're all gonna show.
Oh,
up
do you
at
think
some
they're
point.
all coming back? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a
Yeah.
good question.
I mean, they already have Uhura, Kirk, and Spock. So that's
You got but you guys aren't concerned that it's going to become a James T. Kirk TV show?
No, I'm not concerned about
not
that
at all.
Yeah.
Zero fucking chance of that happening.
Not concerned.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay. That's what I
that,
want to hear, because
that's that was one of the most foolish things I saw circulating on Twitter, that people like they built the show around Anson Mount. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We built.
In fact, they've
Star
actually
Trek-
confirmed that. And I tried to quote that, and then I found out how many people on Twitter don't know what a regular character means on a
is, yeah.
TV show.
We built this Star Trek on Anson
Yeah. Sorry, it was a very frustrating discussion, because
time.
there is apparently a small group on Star Trek Twitter that are just like, oh my god, Anson Mount is leaving the show, and that's
The show hasn't even started yet.
I know, yeah, it's a very foolish leap to make.
Oh my god. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I think Starfleet Boy. So there's no TOS discussion tomorrow, but I feel like we've settled so many debates tonight that I'm pretty good. But Marcelo, you came on at the clutch here at the last minute, so I'm gonna give you the honor of the last debate topic. So
What about these comments? Shouldn't we?
Oh, did we not read them?
No, there's like a shitload.
Oh shit! Hold on. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh crap. Okay. We'll go to the comments first. Wow, I didn't see, like, it didn't load for me. That's cool. You guys are watching on on here. Okay.
We can do it where we can speed round these. Yeah, that
Okay,
was
we already
the
did that. Okay. That was for fun. Will now commence. I think it is a military, but not like a military in the 21st century. So it is kind of both military and not.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's basically what we were saying.
I think the Federation is a future version of United Nations peacekeeping mission, voluntary forces from member nations dedicated towards peace building. Yeah, I agree with this a lot, CB. I think that's legit. Russians have shotguns on the landing craft at the ISS because of bears. Oh,
Huh?
on the ground, bears.
Bears? What?
Bears
Does,
on the ground, not space bears.
does,
They
does
they
that make
land
sense
they
to you
land
guys?
near bears. I guess they gotta shoot bears.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
There's shotguns on the ISS for bears. That's kind of awesome. I didn't realize that. Hi, Marcel. You got a lot of highs. Look at that.
Hi guys.
Serena is in the middle.
Yeah.
What?
You
It's
talk about the Borg vagina ship.
the vagina
All right,
ship.
keep going. We're speed rounding these.
Come hither, La Serena. La Serena marks the spot.
Dirty-minded audience.
Kirk could shoot Finnegan's ship in the Nexus. What's Finnegan?
Yeah. That's actual Kirk's Nexus fantasy. He's just beating the fucking shit out of Finnegan all day, every day, and then he goes off to bang. What was her name? Ruth.
That's right, Jimmy baby. All right, good job, Marcel. Any last debate topics?
Yeah,
Before
I
you-
have. Yeah, I have.
Let's
I have
start.
one-
We already did carpets and floors,
Carpets.
which we did really well, by the way. I'm impressed at how well we did the carpets and floors. Like, I feel like that was like we went deep on that.
No,
and then-
carpets and floors.
Yeah, we
showing
did
a
it.
video. That's ridiculous. You
I
guys
know we did a good job. I thought Father was like really impressive on that one, and we already did the Kirk is it too soon debate. So yeah, anything but that. What do you have? What do you have as for a debate? A final debate topic.
No,
for
I
this?
think I think a final debate topic would be: how do you guys think season 1 of Picard is measuring up to season 2 so far? Do you guys like it more or do you like it less? In the aspect of like, do you guys notice any differences between the writing style, the production style, which you do, but what do you guys think about that? So far?
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I loved season 1, and I'm liking season 2 even more. I think the term I've used is it has a very purposeful pace. I definitely get the impression that the show benefited from the from COVID delaying shooting. I felt like they were able to pace out the 10 episodes very well. I was unsure of Terry Matalas going in just because I wasn't that familiar with his work, but he's so far really impressed me. And my only criticism is that I feel like the show's been very safe by using a lot of things that are familiar. It tries to stay in very familiar territory. You know, a lot of like Star Trek 4 things going on in this last episode, for example. Before that, it got very similar to Mirror Universe type stuff. So it's not really like boldly going like I like my Star Trek to do, but the execution of it has been tremendously fun and exciting, and I'm thrilled on this ride so far, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode. And I hope they maintain this pace and this energy.
What about you, Starfleet boy?
I really enjoyed season 1 like immensely. Like it was a deeply personal experience for me, and it just feels like a continuation of that in season 2. But I will say that like if I were comparing only the first 3 episodes of season 1 versus the first 3 episodes of season 2, like with the disclaimer that you need season 1 to appreciate season 2 because it is building on what season 1 did in many ways. Season 2 is just like leagues above what I could have imagined. Like it's fulfilling so many of my like fantasies for Star Trek. Like it's fulfilling so many of my desires for Star Trek, I should say. Like this version of Star Trek Picard is like everything I've ever wanted and more like so far, and we're only 3 episodes in, so I think I will reserve like a final judgment till the end of the season. But based on the trends so far from what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing as a viewer, this season is like even more my jam than season 1.
Okay, I have one more thing to ask you on that. Just one more thing. Do you think if Michael Chabon was still the showrunner, do you think that season 2 would be where it is, or do you think that it would be vastly different?
I don't really care to.
he
I
was
don't really care to. Yeah,
he
answer that.
was still in the writers' room on season 2.
Yeah, he's also in
he
the
was
writers'
breaking.
room. Yeah.
He broke these stories with that
With Terry
team.
Matalas.
Yeah.
So
I don't know any of Terry. I'm very familiar with Michael Chabon's work, but I don't know any of Terry Matalas's work, so I can't really answer that like in a fair way. Like I don't really want to answer that question.
Okay. All right, guys. So you can take us home if you want.
Right on. We got a few more comments out of that.
Okay.
3s and 7s is here, by the way. Loving season 2. Season 1 fell flat for me with a weak ending in the synth plot, and 2 must depending on tugging heartstrings with Data Picard deaths. You see, that's the thing. Those are precious to me. Those two, those like not the Synthulu, but the Data Picard stuff. Season 2 is grabbing me right away, much better. I'll say this: season 2 is like way more familiar from what we've seen than season 1 was.
But it's largely continuing the trajectory that they set up at the end of season 1, where Picard he's gotten out of that melancholy that he was stuck in, and
I agree. 3s and 7 says I'm thinking Gavin Newsom is Cory Booker is going to be in Picard.
I don't think they're going to do that. But.
Yeah, I don't think they'll stud cast or whatever you want to call it, like celebrity cast again that much. But who knows? I mean, we're on the 2000. Oh, what did I say? I can't.
Yes, I want some Kazenti. Damn it! I agree with Joel, 110%.
You see the Kazenti teased in season 1. Maybe the Borg Queen is a Kazin female. I can't talk. That's interesting.
The Kazan female are supposed to be. They're like dumb. Like they're just like mindless animals used only for breeding or something like that. It's
weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Fun will not now commence says I'm glad Terry Matalas is in charge of this season. I didn't know any of Terry Matalas' work before this, but I will say I am hella impressed with the production.
He's really into time travel.
Yeah, and he's doing
a
a good
big
job.
fan of Back to the Future. He had brought Leia Thompson in to direct this episode.
I mean, my suggestion, if you want to know what kind of writer Terry Matalas is and what he's capable of, I think you should check out 12 Monkeys, the TV series.
Yeah, I might have to just finally do that.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
I love I love Terry Gilliam. He's one of my favorite director auteurs. And I love 12 Monkeys, the film. I love all of Terry Gilliam's movies, like Brazil, Time Bandits, like he's just a genius. Baron Munchausen is one of my favorite movies ever. So I think it's cool that Terry Matalas, another Terry, directed the TV version of it. But I'm not sure why I never watched the 12 Monkeys TV series. But now that I've seen what he's doing on Star Trek Picard, I'm 100% interested, and we'll probably go and check it out after Picard ends for sure.
Right, cool.
But yeah, no, he's done a great job with these first 3 episodes. I'm pretty confident I'll like the rest of the season. I'll be surprised if it ends up disappointing me in a serious way. I'm convinced now that I'd like to see him run another Star Trek show, although I don't know if that's going to be likely to happen anytime soon, but I would certainly be a fan of it, and I want David Blast to come and design whatever show Terry's running. He's done a very good job.
This production team's vision of the 25th century is very compelling to me, and I would love to see more stories visualized and on screen of the 25th. I would sacrifice a Section 31 show, and I would also sacrifice a Starfleet Academy show to continue on this journey in the 25th century.
We're so spoiled right now. We're getting so much good Star Trek.
It's true.
And then we have Strange New Worlds coming up, and then we have more Prodigy and more Lower Decks later this year. It's like everything's firing on all cylinders.
You know what? I look, and you guys gotta take this with a grain of salt, because I've been the biggest Terry Matalas lover ever since he was announced to replace Michael Chabon. But if we were to ever go back to DS9 for whatever reason, and I'm not talking about a reboot, I'm talking about just another series based on DS9 for whatever
Like a
reason.
reunion show type thing. Like,
Yeah, kind of. But if we were to like tell a new story on the station, I think that Terry Metalis would be an interesting choice to run that show from the very beginning.
I agree. Guys, promote what you gotta promote.
First, I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do. I am very, very thankful for any of you guys who are part of the Starfleet Boy family who checked out my latest video. My latest video was just me giving my quick thoughts.
Let's call it the TQIF family because it's not just Starfleet Boy. There's a whole bunch of people
I
involved.
thought we were the Mycelium Network.
Yeah, the Mycelium Well, no one knew about that. That was like a private thing. But now we are. Yeah, let's call ourselves the Mycelium Network. Let's not highlight any one of us. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a group effort.
We're the Borg. We're just a collective.
No, we're the collective.
All right. Okay. So, I would just like to thank
the Mycelium Network. I like that.
the Mycelium Network for possibly watching my video about my quick theories and my quick thoughts of Paul Wesley being cast as James T. Kirk for Strange New Worlds. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for checking
and go check that video out.
It's on the Balloon Head Productions channel,
YouTube channel.
It's on my YouTube channel, Balloon Head Productions. I also have a second YouTube channel dedicated to my podcast, Radio 815, which is a podcast all about J.J. Abrams' universe. And one more thing, I have a personal podcast that will start a brand new season this April, and that podcast is called the Red Wall Podcast. So thanks for having me on, even if I came on for a cup of coffee. It was a pleasure.
That was really
to be
nice
here.
that you came on. You came in at the end. That was really nice. I like seeing you guys every week. It's kind of like.
Well, I'm sad we're not doing a TOS stream tomorrow.
I know, but we gotta wait. I feel like it's important to wait for Sub Commander. He's such a
Let's do the Disco Season 4 stream.
All right, I'm gonna try to pull it together. We'll see what we do, or we might do another fun something stream.
I mean, how many people do you need for that? Like, Marcelo, you're down for that, right?
Are you down for the Disco Season 4?
Let's talk about like the whole season as a whole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so okay, it's done.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah,
done deal. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of 2 us, we're gonna do Disco Season 4. It's the soonest I've ever done it, so it'll be exciting.
I can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
I usually, Father. The thing is, I usually like to rewatch the whole season before doing those discussions. So maybe I'll just stay up all night and watch the season, and you guys will have like a very tired Starfleet Boy tomorrow. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, no. If you guys want to do that,
I want to watch the whole season again.
No, I do. I do not need though. I need to not watch the whole season.
Like me personally, I want to watch the whole season again. Let's see what they're saying. People are saying like, do it. Joel's saying do it. But I want to give Disco a fair shake. No. Okay, no. Sorry, Father. I'm gonna do an override on that one.
We'll do something.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll figure out something. We'll do something.
Okay. Well, whatever you guys want to do.
We'll figure. Audience, look around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna figure out something to do. Maybe we'll do a day. It's a daytime stream, so maybe we'll do a watch along or something. We'll figure it out. We'll see what we'll do.
Hey,
what
about this? What about doing a watch along, and I haven't even been here for 3 hours, of the Undiscovered Country? We said we were going to do one.
I want to do. We'll do it, but not that.
We've already done that one, didn't we?
I feel like we did. Yeah, it was one of the drunk
insane ones we did.
Okay. So which one?
Maybe we'll watch Empath together. I don't know, something. We'll figure something out. There might not be a stream tomorrow. The plan was not to have a stream tomorrow, so don't get your hopes up, audience.
Oh, maybe I'll have a stream tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe Father might have a stream tomorrow, so we'll see what happens.
We're gonna do a watch along of the Starfleet Boy After Dark stream.
I just need to watch Disco season 4 again. I
No,
really
you
love
don't.
this season. No,
No,
I
you
do.
do not.
I adore this season. To me, this is my favorite season. Father's gonna do a poll tomorrow, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
was gonna do it Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Sorry,
I
Father's
do
gonna
my
do a
polling.
poll
I'm very regimented. I do my polls go out every Tuesday at
every
noon.
Tuesday. Yeah. And I 100% vote for season 4 as my favorite season based on what I can remember. But because it like was so protracted and they split it up, like I really need to watch it again, like to get the feel of how the season lands.
Season 4 was my favorite season because it didn't have anything that made me
offended you.
That made me want to pull my hair out. So
Damn you, people are trying to keep us on the stream. Like I don't know the answers to this question. More carpet track. Do Klingons have carpet? They don't have carpet, right? Klingons don't have carpet. I don't think there's any carpet.
The Discovery season 1 Klingons didn't have any hair at all, right? They're
yeah,
just,
it's true. I don't think there's carpet at all. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyways, Father, what's going on over on Text Trek? Can you tell folks how to find you and what's going on and what y'all are doing these days?
Absolutely. You can check us out live on YouTube every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central when we discuss the latest episodes of Star Trek. Right now, we are talking about Picard. Actually, earlier tonight, we did a live show talking about finale, the season 4 finale of Disco, and also the new Picard that we got this week, episode 3 of season 2, Assimilation. That'll also be available as a podcast to listen to wherever you get your podcast. You can always listen to us that way. And yeah, we'll continue to be covering Picard. Then we're going to be doing Strange New Worlds every Friday, and Prodigy and Lower Decks later in the year, and hopefully, I'm thinking July. But this summer, me and Dave are going to get back on the Deep Space Nine talk, and we're going to pick up where we left off. So we're going to, we've finished everything up to season 4, and we're going to start season 5. And I think season 5 is a magnificent season. I don't think there's a single bad episode out of the entire 26 episodes that make up season 5 of DS9. And I'm very, very eager to get back to my favorite Cardassian space station. So we have tons of content coming out this year, so enjoy.
I have a deep cut Easter egg or corn egg, rather I should say. Do y'all remember the actor Michelle Phillips who played Picard's love, Janice Mannheim in TNG? We'll Always Have Paris.
Yes.
Did you all know that she co-wrote
the younger version or the old? Wasn't there like a younger one on the holodeck, but there was a different actress when they had?
Oh, I don't remember that, but the older actress, the one that was in the most of the episode, she co-wrote "California Dreamin'," which appears in Picard in this episode.
The Mama and the Papa's song.
Yep.
But she now every movie it has to have like these sad covers. Like remember like the early trailer for Disco season 1 that had that cover to that it was like that 70s rock song is the what was it? I can't even think of it, but or like I don't know, it's just like everything I just hear like a bunch of songs get like covered. It's always like the sad woman singing.
Yeah, it's true.
It's either that or they take like an old like film score and then play it on a piano. They do that a lot too, in a lot of trailers.
This is wild. Dave Last puts out the best shit, man, and it just every layer just gets deeper and deeper. Like look at that connection right there. California Dreamin', the song, is somehow connected to Star Trek of TNG. Like that's epic. Like I just love that shit. Anyways, you guys, tomorrow, normally on Saturdays we do a TOS stream. Next week, hopefully, we'll be doing the Empath season 3 episode. Sundays we do a deeper dive of Star Trek Picard, a casual and informal discussion, but like with like some elements of Text Trek poured in there, and also a lot of quotes from Text Trek. I wrote a lot of quotes from you guys this week.
Well, again, I don't know if we need like two shows of the same
No, we do different
I would
stuff.
encourage people to come check out our content for our takes on
Of
stuff.
course.
Instead of getting them from
Starfleet Boy does a
but...
little bit something different. We're doing something different where I write these like long, kind of like long form essay type things. So it's
Father
different.
is better. Father is better.
What's that?
You gonna go get some screenshots?
Yeah, and I have comparison shots from other
Father
Star
is
Treks
better.
too.
I'm killing myself because
Wow.
this is the guy that
It's
I
not
work
a
with all the
Is it a competition?
No, it's not a competition.
It's not a competition.
I don't know. I don't see myself in competition.
It's fine.
That's what's crazy to me. Is
It's fine.
We're one big happy fleet.
I'm
I
trying
feel
to make you laugh. It's not working.
it's not because we're not competition.
Someone was
You're
saying someone recently was they were expressing frustration of like some like Star Trek content creator was like working with someone else like they saw was like a competitor. So I'm like I don't see myself as a competitor.
Yeah,
only way I would see myself as in competition with someone is if someone was trying to do the same thing as me at the same time as me. Like
right.
No,
like
I
I've
think-
carved out the Friday night at
Guinness,
7 o'clock. I've been pretty consistent with that for a long time, but yeah, I'm not in competition with anyone.
No, I think that I think the great thing about Star Trek nowadays is that there's so much discussion from so many wonderful people such as yourself. I mean, I only said that because I hope you guys didn't take that seriously. I was just trying to make you laugh.
It was
I
it was
knew
funny.
you
I mean, I didn't take it seriously either because I don't.
Marcelo,
I
we
don't
never
think of
take
it-
what you say seriously. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's lame. We do
kidding.
take you seriously sometimes. But no, Starfleet Boy and Tex Trek. Today, for the first time last night on our space discussion, I called a sister podcast. Sister.
Yeah, I haven't
sister
listened to that.
channels.
I didn't listen to that. I listened to y'all's disco.
Oh, cool.
stream.
Would you? Yeah. That was fun. That was our last Thursday night stream.
Yeah,
We're not doing
that
any
was
more
fun.
reaction streams because it's just too much. I did it for Toddy and he stopped being available, and so like I'm glad to just go back to like chilling out and like really watching an episode and like stuff like that.
No, and the cool thing about this space is that I could do the whole show lying in my bed.
Yeah.
Like
I appreciate the space. That's what we're moving the reactions to, is to our space discussions. And I like space. Have you tried the spaces yet, Fathery? Like on your own? Have you done a space yet?
No, I don't know. Like that's weird to me. Like remember back when they had what were those the fleets?
I
When y'all were
love
doing
fleets. I miss
on each
fleets
other?
so much. Yeah,
That was weird to me
Fleets
too.
were
That weirded.
awesome.
I didn't know what those were for the longest time. You were like click on those little icons you see up at the top.
I love that. I love that you don't like know that stuff. Anyways, Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're discussing Picard on and whatever the latest Star Trek will be on Sundays. So come and join us for that if you like. And then Starfleet Boy After Dark is starting to branch out and do some different things. We've had a kind of a drink and draw stream, and we're gonna do more of that.
Oh yeah,
I
that was
love
fun.
Yeah, that was
You
really
gotta-
fun.
you got to call me for that because I'm your co-pilot for that.
Sure. You can totally be on that. That's fine. But we love those. I love to draw, and I need to get back into practice, so we'll be doing more of those, and just some other fun content that we have planned on Starfleet Boy After Dark. Starfleet Boy After Dark is kind of like my sandbox, so it's where I have like do weird things and fun stuff. But there's been a consistent audience here tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead, Fathery.
Just one thing you might want to mention is that in 2 weeks, we will be.
3 weeks.
Is it 3 weeks or 2
Yeah,
weeks?
It's 3 weeks. Hey
You
Siri,
sure?
how many weeks is April 8th?
It was 49 weeks ago.
Oh shit. Siri thought I was talking about like whatever. Hey Siri, how many weeks from now is April 8th?
Sending to Starfleet Boys.
Well, wait. Today's the 18th, right? So
Yeah.
another week. So that'll be the 25th. Oh yeah, you're right. And then like
3
a week
weeks,
after that will be April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Shit. That's right. So it's 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We'll be in Chicago. We'll be having a blast in Chicago. If y'all are going to Mission Chicago, we're going to try to plan up a meetup. We'll definitely let you know what that's going to be like on our channels and on Twitter and stuff like that. So stay
And of
tuned.
course, on the 29th, we have
Yes,
a
Marcel.
watch-along
April
coming
29th, Marcella's birthday on Starfleet Boy After Dark. We're gonna do a watch along of the 2009 Star Trek, Kelvin,
Yeah.
the first of the Kelvin films. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, actually, for my birthday is actually on the 25th, but we moved it because of a guest that we're gonna have on the show. So it's fine.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that, folks. It's gonna be
So what day will that be?
the
The
29th.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday night. It's a Friday, but we're gonna do it in the daytime or the nighttime?
It is?
Nighttime.
The 29th of what month?
Of April. Of April.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean we want to do it like a standard Starfleet bar, right? That's what.
Yeah,
we-
the
you
After
know,
Dark. The
Yeah.
After Dark, yeah. So it'll
Yeah.
come after Tax Track that night. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're gonna do the entire Kelvin trilogy.
Well, I would like that, but I think he wouldn't let me do it.
2009. 2000. We'll start there, Marcelo. 2009.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be fun.
We're gonna start with Into Darkness, and then we're gonna do Beyond, and then we're gonna do 09.
Oh, come on! You can't do that to me. Come on.
Sometimes you save the best for last. All right, audience, live long and prosper. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, guys, for joining me tonight, making this so much fun. We'll see you next week. Woo!